you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail. I block you so I don't raise hell. Should've talked through it in detail. Our separate ways ain't gon' end well, no. But when we get back, it's like, oh my, all bad all day, but the night time, get that good till we act right. So tell me what we on today, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go on. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead.
Look.
We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves. And I'm knowing your attention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone. In the presence, I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dress and gone. Flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage. You got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weather. We fight, retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody's stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle, you a treasure. Feel like you setting fire to my desire for the pleasure. You a gem, got me blameless, make amends, know you can, I'm out here.
Tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could go all night. We could go all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say let's do babe. Don't need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. You do. Show me something. Give me more than one thing.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the time. I appreciate you. Let's get started, shall we? 513-873-7134. That is my number. If you want to chime into the show this morning. And this morning, I want to tackle a bunch of topics. Some may or may not be on your radar screen, including answer this question that I go to one of my favorite YouTube channels and I see they're talking about this over the weekend. I'm like, damn it, let me break this down so it can forever and always be broken. This question that people keep throwing at the primarily black community. And the question is, if Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other? Have you seen this question? I want to break this down for once and for always this morning. Okay, so if any of your knucklehead co-workers or we all got some Gilligan friends or family members say this at the next cookout or the gathering or the barbecue or wherever the hell you're doing, then you'll have the rhetorical and the intellectual ammunition to shoot this down real quick. Everywhere we go, it's at least one person talking about something. If Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other? I'm going to break this down for you this morning within the first hour so we don't have to talk about it anymore. Plus, I'm going to give you an update as to some of the guests that you can expect to hear on the show this morning as we get closer and closer to the November election. Plus, there's a lot of things that are popping right now. Did anybody watch the Met Gala? If you did, what's wrong with you? Why was that on your things to do list? I'd like to know. But an actor named Jermy Pope caught a lot of attention. He turned heads and really caught some eyes with his slave-inspired attire. Y'all hip to this? I'll show it to you. We'll talk about it. Is this hot or not? This could be the new trend. Don't say it can't happen because you know how things happen. They just happen. All right. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. And I'll be honest with you, family, I'm coming off the best birthday that I've had. This is my favorite, the best birthday weekend ever of all time, Craig. Of all time. Just happened over the weekend. I'm going to fill you in with all the details. So get ready for that. Plus, everything that's happened over the weekend. We haven't been together since Friday. Since then, the Bengals took an L. Who they think gonna be them Bengals? Did y'all see Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton look out here looking like he got a black wife. The hell? Did he get remarried or something? Man, listen, no lie. I haven't watched live any parts of a football game in like 2-3 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Whenever they disrespected Cap, I stopped watching. When was that? 10 years ago? Oh no. I turned on the game this weekend and you won't believe what I saw. So all that and more coming up. Plus, I swim with sharks and they all bite. I'm talking about the choppers. We'll get to the choppers this morning. So a lot to discuss. Can we give it about 90 seconds? Let's give it about 90 seconds. Please share us on Facebook. To all my friends that's on TuneIn, to all my friends on Spreaker this morning, good morning to you. You can watch the show live on Facebook and YouTube. All right, good morning to you. Let's get back to it. So we're rolling intro, and then we'll come right back and get straight to the show. I don't want to waste any more time. Plus, I have been getting deeper in my bag when it comes to city council. And I'm prepared to tell you, I don't care what anybody else is doing. I don't care what anybody interviews. If you want to know what's up with these candidates locally, listen to the Nathan Ivy Show. By far, I'll be digging in real deep on all of the issues that really, really matter as it relates to the upcoming election. So don't go anywhere. Stay tight, choppers. We'll get started in about 90 seconds.
NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono B the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Red Tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
We haven't been together in a whole long time, but it's really, we was rocking on Friday. How was your weekend, man? What'd you get into? What'd you get into? No pun intended. To the fellas, no pun intended. But seriously though, what'd you get into this weekend? You have fun? What'd you do on Friday? I want to hear about all of it. Tell me everything. Tell me all the details. I want to know what was going on. What were you doing? Who did you see? Did you get a chance to do whatever the hell you was trying to do? Hey, thank you for the shares. Appreciate it. My people out here showing up. Appreciate it. Hit a brother with them shares. Shares mean everything. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Well, as I said, on today's show, among other things, I want to answer this question. I want to put it to rest. If Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other? That question. I went to one of my favorite YouTube channels over the weekend for some edutainment, and I ran straight into this question. I'm like, oh my God, my work is never done. We still doing this out here? I thought we'd already settled this and broke this all the way down, but apparently we have not. So I got to show up again and break it down for you. Plus, I want to talk about everything that's happened over the weekend. Now, I had told you that on Friday, I teased that today I want to talk about the marijuana law. Give me one more day on that because I'm putting together what I think will be a very interesting panel of guests. Okay, so we can speak very intelligently on that. So if you're tuning in for that, I should have that conversation for you locked and loaded and ready in the chamber for tomorrow, okay? Because legal marijuana can be reparations, but will it be? You know what I'm saying? You're talking about big money. Like one day, everybody loves food trucks in Cincinnati, right? One day you're going to have cannabis food trucks. You'll get you some ice cream. It'll have some cannabis in it. Oh, yes. Let the good times roll. Man, Cincinnati's going to be lit when that happens. One thing I know about my fellow Cincinnatians, black and white, we like a few things. We love some good food, don't we? We love some food. Good mountains of cheese, mountains and cheese. We love all that. We love outdoor entertainment, and we love the DRUGS. We love the DRUGS. You go to every bar in Cincinnati, somebody's got some DRUGS in a glass. Few things make humans feel good, better, faster than DRUGS. Just wait, family. So we'll talk about all of that tomorrow. So we'll have that in the chamber for us. Also, I'm getting ready for my city council interviews, and we will have the definitive city council interviews. Hold on, let me turn this camera just a little bit more, just a little. There we go. See how I just did that? There it is. So the definitive council interviews. If you want to know who to vote for and learn more about the candidates, then make sure you check us out. Starting this week. Starting this week. So on Thursday, we've got white male Republican Steve Gooden. Let me double check on the time, but it'll be Thursday morning. Okay. We also got the founder of Boss. There's a big old premiere. It's a big premiere happening next week. And what they're doing is quite interesting. They put together a very interesting group of Black women to talk about their story, share their narratives. Again, if we're not in control of our own narrative, somebody else will be. But we'll talk with the founder of Boss on Thursday as well. I'll get back with you at the times once I confirm. Okay, so I'm filling up the calendar with what I hope will be very informative interviews with the candidates. I'm going to take a view that you're probably not going to hear on any other show in Cincinnati. It doesn't matter where it is. You know me, I like to be unique. I like to challenge folks. So I'm going to approach it from probably a completely different, with some of the questions, a completely different perspective, but one that's designed to give you more insight about who these folks are. All right, so stick around for that. Plus, I've got working on some guests, some people out of town, because sometimes our thoughts can be very incestuous in this city. We just see somebody and follow them. But that's just the way of the world, right? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing excellent. Give me 1 second here. I want to change one thing. There it is. Booyah. We's in the building. We in the building. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, y'all. Good morning. Let me jump over to my friends over on the speaker. Get to the chopper! Everybody. Sharp Rice, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Ray Rice, good risings all. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing excellent. So my birthday was Thursday. I'll say it again. I am the most superlative Virgo on planet Earth. It's kind of like being like the Green Lantern of planet Earth. It's kind of like that. And Beyonce is a not so distant second. Come on in here and say what's up. And don't be tripping.
What's up?
Don't
You didn't press it.
I said no.
Can I give you a good?
I said no.
Can I give you a good?
No. Give us some hugs and some loves.
I'm staying with you.
No, you're not.
Mommy said I could stay with you.
Your mommy don't tell you what you can stay on this show, little boy.
Yes, she said I could stay with.
That's great. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Tell the people about your report card.
I got 2 B's and the rest are A's.
That's right. Good job.
Cause in gym I got a B.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that with your gym teacher. I don't know what you in. You must be in there tripping.
No.
Okay. But that's a good job. It's a really good job.
A B is pretty good.
A B is pretty good, but my question is, why wasn't it an A?
I don't know.
Well, in that other, it was that language arts, I think it was.
What is language?
English reading.
Reading?
You got a B. Why?
Because I don't know how to read.
Yeah, okay. We're working on that right now. That's why Daddy and Mommy read to you every night. Say good night. Say good morning. Now I got to get back to what I'm doing.
Good morning.
All right, I love you.
I'm staying.
No, you're not. I don't want to play this. If you press that button, now I'm gonna have to get you later. Yeah, he can come home with all A's and 2 B's. So my question is, you walk in here with a report card like that, you got all A's and 2 B's. My question is, why'd you get 2 B's? Why you were that close? If you're gonna do this, do it all the way. My daughter used to hate it, but she's a damn good student now because the standards is set real high. That's his first report card, so we're gonna put it on the refrigerator. You know how kids like to do it. You got to show them. You got to show them that, y'all. I ain't telling you nothing you don't already know. You got children. You did all this already. You know what I'm saying? My wife, I just had a child late in life, but you know what I'm talking about. My daughter used to be like, I got all A's and 1 B. And I'm like, well, why'd you get a B? You got an 88. What's the difference? It's 2 points. What we doing here? Explain it to me. You know what I'm saying? But he's a good kid. He's a good kid. Good morning to you. Yes. I'll relay the messages. He's doing a good job so far. Linda writes, no sound, huh? Well, everything's registering on my side. Anybody else there? I don't know. Anybody else see this? How many people watch the Met Gala? What in the hell is the Met Gala? What is it? And I'm a little late with this conversation. Maybe other people beat me to it. I don't know. But, we talk about things when we talk about things. But everybody's trying to make a fashion statement these days. Anybody in the audience attended the Met Gala? I'd like to know what the fuck it is. And what do you do? Is it an awards? I don't know the details. I'll be honest with you. But I do know that there's some folks that was making news, turning heads. We'll talk about it, including actor Jermy Pope. You see his outfit? He dedicated his Met Gala outfit to slave attire in the cotton fields. And I thought, this is interesting. This could be the new sexy, along with grown-ass men wearing dresses and all this kind of ish. Quote, they planted seeds of beauty, tended to fields with unspeakable strength, and harvested a kind of excellence that would outlive them for centuries. So we could one day stand up, stretch toward the sun, and tell their story. He wrote that on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, look up Jermy Pope right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And this is like something straight, like, I don't know. Would you rock this? Would you rock this? And at first glance, it may look like he's got like a sash or it's like a dress, but it's not. What you're going to see in this image they're going to put up, that thing that the long train is actually supposed to be like a bag where you put cotton. So think about this. Here you are at the Met Gala, the red carpet, which has been used for years and years and years as a runway for like new designers and like setting the tone for fashion. When you think about fashion, you think about fabrics like cotton. When you think about the history of cotton, you think about slavery, and that means you think about slaves. So it all kind of fits. Y'all want to see what he roar? Y'all might like this. Some people might say this is dope. Don't get punked out. Like if you feel like it's, I rock this. I don't know. You tell me. This could be that new thing. Check this out. Yeah, that's Jermy Pope at the Met Gala. And again, that's not a dress. That's like a bag where, he would put the cotton. So he was making a huge statement. Yeah, I bet you see somebody dressed like that. Minus the long sash, the long, like not even sash, the long like cotton bag. Minus that, because that would be just cumbersome. It's just not functional. It's just not functional for everyday people. But I guarantee you're going to see some more sort of slave era, cotton field era-esque type of fashion. Why not? Everybody's following a trend somewhere, somehow, right? We'll talk about it, though. I want to show you the image first just to get you percolating, get your wheels spinning. You tell me what you think. Jerome writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Jerome. I appreciate you. Good morning. I had the best birthday weekend that I've had in a long, long time. The wifey got me. She got me, y'all. And that ain't easy to do. Not a lot gets past me, but she got me. I give her that. She got me. And starting about, I don't know, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, she's like, yeah, we're going to do something just you and I for your birthday. My birthday was on Thursday. And we did a family dinner. The four of us went out. We had dinner together, which I love. It was the first time since COVID. And it was just great, man. It was a great time. Pardon me. It was great. It was a great time. I had to sneeze. It was a good time. It's just something about, there's something very ancient and something that feels very real about sharing food with other people. There's something about that. There's something about either inviting people into your home or just eating with friends and family. It's just something about that, and you're talking and shit, like it's talking and stuff. Sorry. Oh, let me do my prayers. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. There it is. I'm good. Gotta say my prayers with one eye open these days because you can't trust nobody. Can't trust nobody. Something very, very communal about it, right? So we had a great dinner on Thursday, great time. We all ate together. We were stuffed. And I'm thinking, okay, that's it. You know, because I'm a simple dude. Maybe no matter what you might think, I'm a very simple man. I can get by with very little. I've learned to get by with very little. You know what I'm saying? Because when you learn to get by with very little, can't nobody tell you nothing. Because I don't need nothing from nobody. You know what I'm saying? When you can take care of all your bases, you know, there's a certain comfort in that. You don't have to be a millionaire to get that. You just got to learn to live with less, should I say. But anyway, so she's like, yeah, I'm going to take you out for your birthday on Thursday. She had the whole thing set up. She probably listening right now. She called me, y'all. Called me completely. She's like, oh, yeah, you know, our children, 116, the other 6, they're going to go to our friend's house and chill over there. And my spider sense was going off like, well, we got a 16-year-old. We don't have to have they don't have to go anybody's house. She can watch our son. She do it all the time. Or at least from time to time. But I ain't think nothing of it. I'm like, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she just wants to hang out with him or something like that. Get to the spot, and we see a couple friends of ours outside. And I'm thinking, this is strange. What a coincidence. But Cincinnati's very, very small. So it's not uncommon for you to go out and just run into people that you know. It happens all the time. But it was the wifey's reaction. I'm like, why isn't she more like, aha? She just like chill with. She ain't really saying too much. I don't think nothing about it. I walk into the spot, run into one of my friends. I'm like, oh, okay, she got me. I go back into the spot because there's like an outdoor area as well. My children are there. My mother-in-law came down from Cleveland. My family and them came through. Before I knew it, you know, a nice little circle of family and friends were there. And it was a surprise for yours truly. So she got me. It was very surprising. And I'm not one who likes surprises unless it's certain kind of surprises. I mean, that's always nice. But she called me. She got me. Wifey, you got me. It was a good time. So we just got a chance to just, you know, whatever you talk. We didn't do nothing but talk. And, you know, we had some food and, you know, we had some good tunes, a good time. It was great weather. But sometimes that's all you need, right? So I told her she raised the bar now. So now you're going to wait this late until we married 21 years. Now you raising bars out here? Okay. All right, I got you, sis. I got you. Wait till next year. I got you. But overall, it was a good time. But I was already on cloud 9 before that. I had an excellent week of working out, hit the body super hard. And so I'm just on cloud 9 already, no matter what. So that just kind of added to it. So I had a great weekend. Long story short, great weekend. Hope you did too. I was super surprised to see my mother-in-law. She came down for a little bit of business, but they came to the party. You know, they're 4 hours away, 4.5 hours away. So that was super, super dope. And then my uncle came out, who rarely comes out. So when he comes out, I know things are good. You know, he's one of those relatives where if things ain't right, he ain't going nowhere. So for him to step out, that means life must be treating him good. So overall, it was a good time. It's a great time. Linda writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Brandy writes, greetings. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate in the choppers. Call me Tanika from Orlando, Florida. Now, what? Wait a minute. What happened? You left us? You in Florida? What happened? Anthony writes, morning chop shops. I was just reading how people are coming to Cincinnati. The population, the latest census is going up. And you leaving? That's the second person. You the second black, one of the second choppers I know that's moved away. What is going on? I see Naisha's in the house. What's up with you, Naisha? She writes, good question. What's a good question? The cover story question is a good question. I'm going to break this down in just a second. I'm going to answer this. I'm so sick of people with this question. If Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other? That question. I'm going to answer this. I'm going to break it down so it can always be forever be broken. I'm sick and darn tired of it. See, I'm trying not to curse. That's a good question. Okay, we'll get to it then. Jennifer is in the house. Good morning. Jennifer writes, because the devil has taken over their minds, Cain and Abel.
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash to activate the coon chip.
Is that right? Only a little bit. Maybe it's the coon chip. Mike writes, Chop Shop, get out there and get it today. Absolutely. Julie writes, people kill where they live. Whites kill whites. Italians kill Italians. Asians kill Asians. The question irks my soul. They act like blacks are the only race to kill their own. I'll be honest with you, and I might be stepping on some intellectual toes, but we family, so we can all grow together. That when somebody asks that question, it reveals a lot about the person who's asking the question more than anything else. I'll break this down for you in just a second. Let me greet everybody first. Pat Rice, good morning. Did the Bengals win yesterday? Anybody at the game? Anybody watch the game? No lie, y'all. Yesterday, I turned on the game for the first time in like 3.5 years. Whenever Cap left the NFL was the last time I watched any game live. Now, I've watched highlights, but to tune into it, like to take the time, number one, I don't have cable. I got one of those Fire Sticks, which works pretty well, actually. Thank you. Whoever created the Fire Stick, thank you. But so I turn on the game. I'm like, well, I'm with the home. The wifey who had some things to do. I'm with my son. My daughter's working. Okay. We in the living room on a Sunday. I turn on the game. Like, let me just turn on the game and see what's up. You know what I watch? 3 straight interceptions, like 1, 2, 3 on successive downs. 1, 2, 3. The first one got returned for a touchdown. Bengals lose. And then I see this redheaded fellow on the sideline. And I'm like, that's Andy Dalton? What the hell happened to Andy Dalton, y'all? I didn't even know who that was. I swear on everything. I turned the game on. And then Andy Dalton used to be the quarterback. He was drafted by the Bengals. He used to call him Rudy Tootie. A lot of people was running here calling him the Red Rifle way before he even earned it. He was straight butt. And he went to Dallas. Now he's in Chicago. So I knew he was starting the game. And I figured, it might be a grudge match, something like that. That's why I turned on the game. I'm like, I'm going to turn it on. I turn on the game, and I see this dude still on the sideline with red hair. It's all teased up, looking like Salt Bae. I didn't know Salt Bae had red hair. You know what I'm saying? These white dudes out here, man, they get with sisters. If sisters be clean, it'd be the difference between like on Family Matters. Like somebody sprinkled some of that Stefan Urkel powder on Andy Dalton. I'm like, who is this guy? Then lost some weight, got the full beard, the head all teased up. Looking at him, out here looking like he married to a black woman. That's exactly what I said in my head. Like, wait a minute, he married a sister? Because you go on Instagram, man, these sisters will get with these white dudes, man, and it's like a whole makeover. It's like a whole makeover. They go from Steve Urkel to Stefan Urkel. Just like that's the magic of a black woman. His hair all teased up. I'm like, who's this here? Andy Dalton. I'm like, call me Andrew. Andrew Dalton. Wait, that's not Andy Dalton. That's Andrew Dalton. Like Sultan, but Dalton. Andrew Dalton. Anybody see Andrew Dalton out there? No wonder they won. You got the power of Andrew Dalton out there. He wasn't Andrew Tall. See, these players come to Cincinnati with that all goofy juice. They leave and go somewhere else, man, and get that whole Stefan Urkel vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole new everything. That's why the Bengals lost. Talking about the D-line. It was the power of Andrew Dalton. Shoot, Andy Dalton wasn't ish. He was straight butt. Now, Andrew Dalton, that's a whole nother level over there. I'm like, damn, we want him back. Anybody see it? I know I'm not alone in this. I know you saw it. If not, just go and Google it or something like that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I thought he was married to a white woman. Guess not. Okay, looking nice. I understood the assignment. Good. Looking good. She got the poetic justice. Let me see the back of them pants. Yeah. Okay, you're all right, sis. Okay. Okay, you straight 90s vibes? Yeah. Okay. If you didn't have no shoes on, you should come show the people. What's up? Why are you showing us that? That's a toy what? A toy sword? Let her get in here. Look at this. This is what I'm living with. And you, of course, you too. You too. Okay.
Cut your head off.
You're not gonna cut anybody's head off. Okay, see you later. Look at her with her old 90s vibes with the hoops and everything. I'm like, what the hell? Salt and pepper inspired. Joe writes, Grand Risings, Nate in the Choppers. Good morning to you, Joe. I hear children arguing. David writes, good morning, Nate in the Choppers. Good morning to you. Deborah writes, good morning. Cruther writes, good morning. Deborah writes, who they? Everybody. See, Linda writes, no picture. You ain't getting no picture. Anybody else having those issues? I can see myself, but of course, I tell people all the time, nothing is perfect. No software, no technology is perfect. Everything has some kinks in it. So just let me know. I'll do what I can. Anthony writes, like and share fam. Good morning. Thank you. Absolutely. Sean writes, good morning, King Nate and the Mighty Chopper. Brandy writes, good morning, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. Absolutely. Linda says she can't see me. I'm not sure what. Linda, leave and come right back. Leave and come right back. Maybe that'll fix it. Brandy writes, I had an amazing weekend. YOLO. Really? What you get into, Brandy? If you can tell us, I mean, I understand. I respect all privacies. All privacies. But damn, I love to hear that. Charles writes, Grand Risings, Nate in the Choppers. Hey, good. Oh boy, okay. Anthony's in the house. Brandy writes, good job, Junior. Keep it up, 100%. Anthony writes, I asked the same questions, Nate. My girls hate it too. See, that's that black excellence. I mean, my thing is, why get to the finish line and then slow up? Run through the finish line tape at full speed. You can slow down after you secure the win. You know what I'm saying? Is that me out here? Oh, okay. All right. See you later. Sean writes, that's right, Nate. If they can get a B, they can get an A. Like your shirt says, black excellence, great family, Nate. Absolutely. I got an 87. Why don't you get a 90? Why don't you get a 91? But Dad, I got all these. You got the bag on that. You're going to get your love on that one. But what's up with this right here? Explain it to me. Danita writes, good morning. Let's make it a marvelous Monday. Absolutely. Constance writes, it's not if Black lives matter. Black lives does matter. We don't need to clarify, justify that statement. The question is ignorant. Okay, Constance says that the question is ignorant. Let me get straight to this. Because this question has come up on this show. I'm sure it's come up on anywhere Black people are. And this question is depending on what the nature of the talk show is, this question is probably going to come up. If Black lives matter, why do Black people keep killing each other? And this is one of them questions that burn my soul ablaze because, well, let me get into it. So the question itself uncovers a schism within the Black community. On some level, the question uncovers a disconnect in our community, right? Because there's an element of the Black community that's on some Black Lives Matter type ish. There's an element of the Black community that is on some woke ish in the sense that it's on their radar screen. They think about it, they care about it, and they react to it when they hear the news about Black citizens, being killed at the hand of Black citizens. And they look at that as an issue in particular for their community, in a lot of cases because they live next to it. So there's an element of the Black community that gets overlooked whenever there's a shooting. I've heard people call into this show and say things like, well, nobody cares, which burns me up because there's a lot of people that care. There's a lot of people that care. Every time there's something that happens, there's people on all levels that pay attention to these crimes and they care about them. There's an element of Black people that are out there actively working with their local law enforcement to try to get justice or bring perpetrators to justice, right? Happens all the time. They get overlooked because people want to focus on the negative, primarily when it comes to the Black community. If you're just tuning in, I'm answering the question that just seems to just, we can't get past, some people anyway. If Black Lives Matter, why do Black people keep killing each other? But like I said, on some levels, I get it. You know, it's an observation. There's people on the outside and even on the inside looking at us like, well, if we talking all this Black Lives Matter stuff, then why we got brothers killing brothers or sisters killing sisters or sisters killing brothers or brothers killing sisters? Why does this keep continuing? And it's simple, because there's a schism, there's a disconnect. But here's where it becomes unfair. There's a disconnect in every community. There's a disconnect in the white community. When I hear Black people in particular asking this question, if Black Lives Matter, why do Black people keep killing each other? It makes me feel as if they're doing the work of white supremacy. Like, that's the kind of question that I would expect an ignorant white person to ask. And they would ask that question, number one, because they're ignorant. They're just oblivious and haven't really thought deeply into what's really going on out here. But then secondly, part of what, in my opinion, you get a lot from people that's got disdain for Black folks. They will ask us and put us in the most difficult and unfair, situations. I mean, on some levels, the question is unfair because it's a question that we only ask Black people. You don't hear nobody, when them white folks got killed up in Pike County, not one time ever anywhere in local media has somebody said, what about white on white crime? It's just an unfair juxtaposition that we only put melanated people in. This is something that white folks don't even have to ask themselves. They're not even put in a position where somebody would dare to open their mouth to ask a question like this. But with Black folks, it's all goody-goody. Somebody kind of said it already in the chop shop. Black folks, you're more likely, if you're going to fall victim to homicide, you're going to fall victim to homicide at the hands of somebody that looks like you. White folks, if you're going to fall victim to a homicide, you're more likely to fall victim to the homicide perpetrated by somebody that look like you. Italian folks, Asian folks, so on and so forth. I mean, if you look at the numbers, this is backed up and it just makes a lot of sense. But we don't ask other races this question. We only ask Black folks this question. If Black Lives Matter, why do Black people keep killing each other? As if all Black people are responsible for everything every other Black person does. That's the other part. That's that plantation-ish. Somebody stole a watermelon. Who was it? Nobody comes forward. Everybody's going to be punished because one person stole a strawberry. It's the same nonsense. And unfortunately, you know, that white supremacy angle, man, that mental slavery angle is so rough, it's so tough that Black folks, or some Black folks, will pick up on it and they'll start mimicking it and perpetrating it against other Black folks with no provocation from anybody else at all. They'll just pick up on it. They'll start running with this nonsense as if this legitimate. It's some of the dumbest ish I've ever heard in my entire life. And while on the surface, it may appear that there's something there, it is. There is. You know, you're picking up on the fact that within the Black community, surprise, surprise, everybody's not on the same plan. Surprise, surprise. Surprise. That when people ask that question, that's what they're picking up on. Like, they're not all on the same team. Nobody's on the same team. No race, everybody 100% on the same team. But Black folks, we have to deal with this unfair characterizations and these deeper analysis. We got to explain every facet of our lives, every detail of everything we do, our music, our food, our culture, the fashion, everything has to be broken down to the smallest microscopic detail, right? We don't do that with everybody. We don't do that. We need to be doing that with our Caucasian brothers and sisters, but we don't do that. We do that with us. And so when when I see or hear a Black person asking this question, if it's coming from anything other than just sort of like intellectual masturbation, you know, they're not really married to it. They're just asking the question just to keep the conversation going. Like, other than that, It makes me think they're damn fools. Like, what the hell? What kind of question is that? It's the dumbest ish I've ever heard. But again, there's an element. It's an element of truth there. But there's an element of truth everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We love to pick at the fisheries of black folks, man. Like, I see a chink in the armor. We love a chink in the armor. Oh, we love to live there as an American society. Any little chink in the armor, but we don't do that with anybody else. If Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other? As if two things can't be true at the same time that don't necessarily have anything to do with one another. And the other thing is, for me, this is just my observation. I could be wrong in this, but 9.99% of the time when I hear a black person run around here talking about something, well, what about black on black crime? They are a Gilligan. They're an agent of deception, and they're trying to muddy the waters. Because, see, typically that comes up when black people start talking about police brutality. It's one of the many age-old tactics that have been used to further protect the police and to prevent us from having usable conversations about police brutality. You start a conversation about police brutality, some dumbass mofo's gonna step up and say, well, all this talk, what about black on black crime? And when you hear that, just X that person out in your mind. Just they ain't even doing it consciously on some levels. They're just reacting. They're just reacting to whatever impulses or programming was put in their tiny little heads. But I'm sick of it. But what do you think? Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. That's my word on it. That's my word on it. What's your word on it? 513-873-7134. Yeah, I'm with Constance on here. We hear it. We don't need to clarify, justify that statement. The question is ignorant. Okay. Sean writes, nope. That style sucks. Oh, you don't like this? Wait. That's that new hotness right there. Come on, Sean. You tripping, bro. You are tripping, man. Listen, you tell me you can't match that up with like some Air Force Ones, some white Air Force Ones. Tell me you can't hook that up with that. You might be thinking, what am I looking at? You are looking at an image from the 2021 Met Gala, which happened last week. And in particular, you're looking at a brother named Jermy Pope. He's an actor and a stage performer. You need to go to his Instagram right now and check it out. He showed up and showed out with his fit. Actor Jermy Pope dedicated this fit right here to slave attire in the cotton fields. This is that new hotness. And apparently there's a black designer named James Flemons. And the name of his, I don't know if it's like his line or his design company is called Phlemuns, but he spells it phonetically, Phlemuns. His last name is Flemons, which is spelled Flemons. So he's playing with words a little bit. Basically, it's his last name spelled out phonetically. That particular look right here, not sure how much it'll cost, but it's called Broadcloth Picking Sack. That's what that is. That's a broadcloth picking sack. So that's not a sash. All right. Fame put the flames down. Because I know he forming Voltron on any examples of the emasculation of black man. That's not what this is. That long train, the cloth right there, that's where the cotton used to go. And if you think about it, it's kind of deep in the level, you know what I'm saying? Because fabrics and fashion go hand in hand. When you think about fabric, you think about cotton. When you think about cotton and black folks, you think about slavery. Boom, boom, there it is. That's that new hotness. Would you? Now, I know none of my brothers out there is going to wear the long cloth. No, that's so unpractical. I mean, what club are you going to go to? Where you going to go with this? Where you going to go with that on? You can't wear that. This is not functional. You don't want to, you're going to roll it up and like put underneath your arm. Nobody's going to do that. But I would not be surprised that by next summer, you don't see some type. You be like, what has he got on? You'll be down on the banks with your family, and you'll see some maybe millennials, and they'll be rocking this. Maybe. Is this dope or nope? That's all I want to know. Dope or nope? This is actor Jermy Pope. Is this dope or nope? Danita writes, the Met Gala is an annual fundraiser for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institution in New York. The costumes that people wear are supposed to be like living, walking fashion exhibit. Thank you so much, Danita. Hey, listen, Danita, I talked with Drop over the weekend. He is running and he is scared to death of you. I told you I was going to call Drop. Man, I called Drop. I'm like, Drop. He's like, I already know, Mr. Ivy. I'm like, Drop, let me hook this up, man. Let's live stream it. He don't want to live stream it because I told you I'm going to put all out there. He don't want to live stream it because if and when Danita gets the best of him, he wants to be able to edit it out. I'm like, man, let me live stream. Like, I don't want to live stream it. I want to listen to it first. And like, you have a sucker attacks, man. So Danita, I don't know if he reached out to you, but I did what I said I was going to do. A man of my word. I said I would reach out to him, but he ain't feeling it. He don't want to do a live stream. He want to record it. And that way, when you start sticking it to him, he can decide whether he wants to play it or not. I'm like, man, where are the men at? I only have one testicle left. I donated one testicle about 15 years ago to the greater good of mankind. Ain't seen it since. Damn. Toy writes, the Met is like prom for celebs. It's another opportunity to make headlines around the fashion statements. It's really for those deep inside the fashion industry, and celebs start becoming a focus. Sean writes, off the shoulder top. I don't think so. See, I as a man, you think, wait a minute, is this for men? Is this for the men's or the women's? Well, as I understand it, Brother Flemons, the nature of his work is gender neutral, non-binary. Is that redundant? I don't know. Non-binary, gender neutral. So he makes clothes that men and women can rock. Just look him up, Flemons, right now. Go to his Instagram. I mean, hey, listen, it's art. It may not be my style, but obviously somebody can get it. What do you think about this? The deepness of it. You know, I read up on him about over the weekend. The brother tried to get deep with it, like, you know, fabrics, cotton, slavery. You know what I'm saying? Saying basically, you know, that was the original fashion, for which that became the foundation for all the fashions that people are enjoying today. Taking it way, way back to the cotton field. Is that too deep? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It's just a conversation piece this morning. You don't like that off the shoulder piece, huh? That's that joint. That's not you. Okay. Andrea writes, happy birthday. Now, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Belated birthdays. I'll take them, man. I'll take them. Thank you so much. Yeah. Deborah writes, what is the murder of Gabby Petito if not white on white crime? But you'll never see. Why is it you'll never see that in the media? Why is it that media is so comfortable reporting about and talking about black on black crime? Is that because it comes from the black community? I think so on some levels. But when I hear black people, I think that when black people try to link what they call homicide, they call it black on black crime, but I refuse to dignify that. I'll call it homicides committed by the same race who happen to be black. When they link that to Black Lives Matter, like it's either or, even if they're not doing it on purpose, they are unwittingly becoming destructive agents. On some level, the only function that I've seen it serve is to try to destroy the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, I don't know how you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement. You might be like, that's some type of boo-ish, right? You might feel that way. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But I think that whether you believe that the Black Lives Matter movement and the people behind it have been 100% above board or not, I think all of us can agree that the general themes behind them, a lot of us can get behind. Is that a safe place for most of us? I'm just trying to carve out some spaces where we can all agree. That's it. Gladys is in the house. She writes, "Good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Beautiful Monday. Yes, it is. Immediately after the show, I'll be getting it in. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Looking forward to it." Deborah writes, "What is white folks refusing to get vaccinated and killing off their family members but white on white crime? Why is it that the media never calls homicides committed by white people against white people? Why do we never see that? Is it because inside the white community, they don't process it that way? I think that's part of it. Like white churches are not like, the pastors of white churches are not giving like media interviews talking about white on white crime. There's only black folks. Why is that? I think it ultimately works against the larger agenda, in my opinion, and it says a lot. Says a lot about them. Charles writes, another episode. Okay, I think they're having their conversation. Angela writes, "Good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you." Charles writes, "Pope looks just as ridiculous as Lil Nas X and Billy Porter. Men run trains. They don't wear them." Just kidding. But it's a no. Oh my God. No, he didn't just say that. Oh man. Anyway, that's interesting, Charles. That's very interesting, brother. That's very interesting because I wondered if somebody's going to make that point. As I was preparing for this show, I wondered if somebody was going to make that point and connect this to Lil Nas X, which to me, I can't do that. There's a big difference here. They're not the same. They're making two different statements. I think we need to be careful about that, Charles, man, so that we can know what's really going on. Like I saw Lil Nas X dressed up like C3PO. He was dressed up like C3PO, like real life. I was like, well, shit, where can I get one of those? And, he's making some statements about, a whole bunch of different stuff. Okay, let's just put it that way. I don't know every statement he's trying to make. I'm just saying he's making some whole other different statements. You got a man wearing a dress. He's got a fake prosthetic piece on because he's pregnant. That's a whole different statement than what this brother is making. This brother's making a whole different statement. This brother's making a statement talking about how basically the foundation for the fashion industry today in America was built upon the backs of slaves. That's the point he's making. Billy Porter, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Lil Nas X, Lil C3POX, I don't know what. You ain't see this? Let me show it for you. Show it to you real quick. Lil C3POX. Glenn's going to love that one. I sound like Glenn. That's one of Glenn's flows. Little C3POX. Let me show this to you. This is Lil Nas X. Look at this. Now, where my Star Wars people at? If that is not C3PO, I don't know what it is. From Star Wars. Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. That's a whole, I don't know what he's trying to I just think he's trying to be seen, like shiny suit man. This brother, I think, is making a more intelligent and deeper point than Billy Porter. That's just me. Some folks call me what you gonna call me. I'm just saying. Joe writes, the Bengals took a L. Really? Yeah, I saw that. I saw Andrew Dalton out there. And then he got hurt. He was on the sideline looking like he divorced his white wife and married a black one. Because the sisters, man, woo, they can bring a man all the way out. But let's go to the phone, shall we? Good morning, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Good morning to you.
Happy Monday. And happy belated birthday to you.
Thank
it's always a great thing to see another year.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. What's on your mind, Black Russia?
Hey, that C3PO was dope though on Lil Nas X, and I don't be liking the stuff he be wearing, but that C3PO was dope. If you watch Star Wars, for sure, all you needed was the helmet at that point.
Right. And the gloves. And the gloves.
Yeah, you're right. And he needed R2D2 with him too. But the other I understand the other guy may have making a fashion statement, so I ain't gonna be too hard on it. But somebody said it's off the shoulders. I was like, yeah, that's the death nail right there. I couldn't wear that off the shoulders, bro.
Okay, what if it's on the shoulders?
On the shoulders, well, it might be a little different. Like I'm looking at it right now, and if it was on the shoulders, maybe he had like a I don't want to say a turtleneck, like a collar with the sash, because they don't ain't okay. We got it on like a sash, so I mean, I'm not too hard on this brother what he's wearing. I just like somebody said off the shoulders, kind of like that's kind of close, man. You know, women wear a lot of stuff off the shoulders. Guys, I don't see a whole lot of that. Either you gonna wear a shirt or you ain't. If you're a guy, like if he came in there like with the sash, no shirt on, like that'd have been different. But like he got a half shirt on with his shoulders, like nah, it's a hard pass for me. Like, did he have a flower on there too? Like he got a corsage on there?
You said a what? A corsage? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
like
looking at that.
on his
Yeah,
heart.
I see something there.
That's
Yeah.
that's another. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's a little too much, bro.
I don't know.
I mean, for
We might be using
a masculine
outdated
guy.
But let me say this, Black Russia. You know, this is modern day fashion, right? From Flemons. So we might be using an outdated lens and language to describe what we're seeing here. So you say corsage. I don't know what he calls that.
What would you call it? I don't know. Give you your guess.
I dare not say, man. I dare not say. I ain't even gonna take no
Oh
steps
my
down that
goodness.
road. I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not bad. It's just the off the shoulders thing is kind of like nah. But then the corsage is like, nah, hell nah. But hey, speaking of your topic, did you watch Channel 5 last night? Because I think that was time
I did not.
after the football game.
What was on
Okay,
Channel 5? I
look,
did not.
you might. Well, Curtis Fuller did a story last night after the football game. It was about 11:30 midnight. I was still up, and he was talking about the very same subject that you were, but he didn't use the race of people. But like, because what they did was they talked about what was going on down at juvenile court. You might have heard the prosecutor say there's like 20 kids charged with murder in Hamilton County. There's like 100 kids charged with like gun cases and aggravated robberies. And so they were down talking to juvenile court staff. I think it's not an administrator. They didn't put her title up there. But she was talking about how they were trying to figure this out. Like, why are all these kids getting these gun cases, aggravated robberies, and why 20 kids in Hamilton County are charged with murder? Now, look, they didn't say what color these kids were. But I'm going to go out here on a limb and just say probably the majority of them are black. That's not to say there's no white kids caught up in that. But I'm going to say the super majority are probably black. And I used to work at juvenile court, and I still got people over there who work at juvenile court. And I was over there for about a year and a half. And a majority of the most serious cases were African American kids with guns, and there were some murders. And I was actually there when the white kid killed his brother. Remember over in Hyde Park, and he got in the water over there on the square. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
He killed his brother with a baseball bat. Yeah, so I was actually working over there at the time, and so that was like a one-off for real. Like that was like super minority situation where you see a kid coming there like that as a white kid, because the majority of kids who's coming in there on the most serious shit was black kids. And like, we're talking about murder. We're talking about the most serious crimes. And so they did a special on that last night. And I guess juvenile court administration is trying to figure out, well, how do we solve it? So without saying, how do we solve black on black crime? They said it without using the color, because we know the demographics. So people are asking that question in the black and white community. Now, people will say, why are they asking in the white community? Well, I don't think the rate is high. I mean, the percentages, white people kill white people, black people kill black people. We get that. But the super number of people who are going down there to juvenile court, with these serious crimes are black people. So it does beg the question, hey, what's going on here? And I think that's a legitimate question. Why are black kids out here killing each other? We just had them 3 bodies in Pendleton in 12, which has always been hot. It's been hot there the last, I guess forever. I mean, it begs the question. Now, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say those 3 black men were killed by other black people. I mean, what's the problem? What's the issue? I don't think nobody really has the answer to it, but people are trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think the difference is like when white people kill white people, They ask the same question, but they stop before they make it a race question. I think a fair question would be, why are kids out here committing homicides? Period. I think that's a fair way
That's
to
not
deal with the
specific enough.
question.
Yeah, okay,
Period. But
that might be
when they
fair. That might
add
be fair.
other black people, it becomes ignorant, and it becomes less useful to me.
Why is it less useful when we get more specific? I think the specifics is important in it.
Well,
This isn't a phenomenon in the white community.
It becomes less useful because it's almost redundant. Like, black people, if you're going to fall victim to a homicide, you're more likely to fall victim to a homicide than somebody that looks like you. Same thing with white folks and everybody else across the board. So it really wouldn't matter who was the victim of the crime. The real focus should be on, why are these young folks committing homicides? Period. Just like
But the super majority of them are black.
As perpetrators of crimes.
But white folks ain't doing it at the same rate though, especially in the urban areas. I mean, we got 42% African Americans in the city of Cincinnati. In Hamilton County, I think it's about almost 25%, between 23 and 25%. But like 89, 90% of the murder going on is within black folks.
I don't know if those numbers are true or not. I mean, I don't know where you're getting those numbers from. I can't say those numbers are true or not.
I look, based on my personal experience, my education, and where I've been working at in the system here in Hamilton County. I worked in Hamilton County for 5 years on multiple levels. DYS, I did DYS. I had the hardest kids in the county who was out here really going upstate. All right. And I can tell you the super majority of my caseload was black. I would carry between 45 to 50 kids when I worked with DYS in the state on my caseload. Half of them be locked up, half of them will be on the streets being supervised. And I can tell you on my caseload, I might have 5 white kids. I had 1 Hispanic kid. Like the other 44 were black. And I mean, we're talking about they went upstate, bro. They went to DYS. So all the stuff they did when you go to DYS, bro, it's involving guns, trafficking, robbery. I had a kid that had a involuntary manslaughter. He was locked up for 21. So what I'm saying is that, again, it's a majority of young African American people doing this stuff. So like, it's one thing to say, why are kids doing it, or why are young people doing it? Why they participate in this behavior? I get that. I get what you're saying on that. But when we dig a little deeper, it's super majority African American. So I think that's a fair question to ask if you're really trying to get to the bottom of it.
Right. And at the end of the day, I think any energy and any questions about that particular side of it is great. That's great. If we want to try to solve what's happening in our community, I can understand it on some levels. Just don't use that term black on black crime, because it's self-destructive. But going back to the cover, and what I'm talking about here is, I hate it when people connect that and then try to weigh it against the Black Lives Matter movement. Because to me, one has nothing to do with the other. So that's my issue with it. So listen, we can talk about all the different ways that we talk about when black folks kill black folks. Okay, I still have my issues with it. That's one thing. But when people try to leverage that against Black Lives Matter movement as if it's either or it reveals something deeper about us that is not true about any other race in America, that's when it becomes problematic for me.
Okay, I hear you on that. I think it's fair, though, to ask, what your question was. If Black Lives Matter, why are we killing each other? So it goes back to the fact that, again, this is happening in the supermajority. It's fair because the supermajority of police officers ain't out here killing black or white people. It does happen, of course, but that's not the supermajority scenario.
Yeah,
and I think the numbers back that up.
Yeah, but let's be fair here before you go on, Black Russia. That may be true, but the super majority of instances of unarmed citizens that we see anyway, being harassed and arrested and tased and killed are people of color.
Now you said kill, you put killed on the end of that. Yeah. I don't know if that's the case, Nathan Ivy.
I'm talking about what I don't know about what you see. Every time I see a video with a place, 9 times out of 10, it's a black person and a white officer.
But see, that's the media. You're looking at the media, bro. You're not looking at the numbers in that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the issue. So like, I think that's part of the problem too. Like we see all these images, and we got internet, and we got stuff that goes viral, and you might see some of that, but that's not the super majority of scenarios with the police. Most interactions with the police, people ain't dying. That's not the super majority. There's very few times where that happens.
But in those interactions, when unarmed people are dying, they tend to be black people. In those
some cases,
the majority of the interactions where unarmed citizens are being and things go wrong, typically it tends to be a person of color.
I'm not sure if the numbers back that up, but I would definitely say that videos and things going viral on our internet today and the TV, what we see, that stuff gets sensationalized. Of course it do, but that's not necessarily the numbers though. Again, majority of police interactions, people ain't dying. Black folks ain't necessarily dying at every police interaction. And so that's what it comes down to. Well, I didn't say that you did, but I want to make sure it's clear too. And so it goes back to, well, if people are out here wanting to protest what the police are doing in terms of killing black people, that's what they're saying, Black Lives Matter. So like they're basically putting it out there that police are out here killing black people at an alarming rate. It's the rate of black folks killing black people, that rate is way more alarming than the police. I'm more scared of young African-American kids hanging out than I am with the police, because
are you?
More times than I absolutely am. Because these young folks, just the conscience is gone. Look, I'm telling you, man. Okay, well, that's true. I mean, everybody's different, bro.
So you telling me that when you're driving around the streets of Cincinnati, when you look in your rear view, when you driving around the streets of Cincinnati, and you look in your rear view, you see some young black guys behind you. You get more scared than when you see the police behind you.
You talking about in the car? That's two different scenarios.
You just said that you more
these black kids can't pull me over.
Young black people than you are police officers. So I'm asking you, I'm putting you in a normal day, everyday scenario. Is that what you're telling me? When you look in your rear view, you're more afraid because there's some black guys behind you than the police?
In the car, bro, come on. Make it make sense, Nathan Ivy. These black kids in the car ain't going to pull me over. This is not making sense. What I'm saying is that the police have the authority to pull you over when they get in the rearview mirror. Sure, you don't want to get a ticket. You don't want to get pulled over. People have that. But am I afraid the police behind me going to kill me? No.
Well, then people.
Not at all.
When you're walking, so you walking down the street. So you're telling me when you're walking down the street, you see a group of police officers at the corner. And then you also see a group of black kids at the corner. You got to walk straight through them. You telling me you more afraid when you walk through the black people than you do the police?
Yes.
I'd rather,
if I'm walking down the middle of the street and you got police on one corner and you got a group of black kids on the corner just hanging out, I'm probably going to cross the street and walk on the side of the street with the police is at.
That's not consistent,
because
man.
I'm more afraid of them young African American kids with no conscience out here who are packing guns, doing something to me than I am with the police.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to find that sentiment. You'll find that sentiment amongst a lot of our elderly black folks.
You're not an elderly black folk person, man. You got to talk for yourself.
I'm moving in that direction. I mean, I can handle myself to a degree, but I can't knock out 4 or 5 young teenagers or young adults. They're out here doing that, Nathan. They're out here robbing and killing each other, man. Police ain't out here robbing and killing.
Have you ever been robbed, not killed? You ever been robbed?
Well, I haven't killed. I've been jumped before.
I'm not saying, have you ever been robbed?
I have not, but I know people closely who have been robbed.
You ain't never been robbing no black folks. You ain't never been the victim of a crime to no black folks, but you're afraid of black folks. Okay.
You say that now. You're like, I'm afraid of black folks.
You just said you was afraid of black folks.
I described certain aspects of black folks. I didn't say
you just said you're afraid to walk through a group of black kids.
Young black teenagers. Yes, I am. I'm more afraid of doing that than than I am walking past the police.
Okay,
absolutely.
When you're in the car, though, if you see some young black males pull up to you the side, does that make you afraid too?
I might get a little nervous. They may hop out. I'm just saying, bro. This is reality, bro. We see this every day.
So
okay, a lot of folks. Go ahead.
You at a light, black folks, some black kids in a car to the left or right of you or behind you. You're terrified, but when you're in the car, the police are behind you. You don't feel nothing.
Now, terrified is a different word. I didn't use the hold on. I didn't use the word terrified though. So you're mixing words.
The word terrified.
I might get a little nervous because
I appreciate
people are hopping out on kids.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying some stuff that people will never say out loud.
Yeah,
because they don't want to be stigmatized. They don't want to be stigmatized. I'm not afraid of being stigmatized, right? And the reality is, This is the type of stuff that's going on in our black community, and which kind of how you laugh about it. You really ignoring a really deep situation going on, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about it
saying,
right now. How am I ignoring it? I'm talking about it.
But you're ignoring the fact that kids are out here doing this stuff.
I'm not ignoring it. I'm not ignoring it at all, man. I'm just simply
comparing it to the police. That's what I'm saying. That's what we get to the Black Lives Matter versus
amused at your reaction.
Why people killing each other. My reaction is, bro.
Yeah, I don't think one has anything to do with the other, man. It's problematic. I mean, let's deal with those two separate issues separately. That's the way they should be dealt with. You know, homicides being perpetrated by, you know, people of the same race has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter movement in any way whatsoever. But I appreciate your call, though, man. It's been very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you take it easy, homie.
Yeah, most def. I appreciate the honesty. You know, I give you the brother that much. And maybe he feels the way a lot of people do. I don't know. Maybe what he said is truth. You see, Jason writes, your show's title. I've been asking the same question, Nate. Morning, crew. Hey, what's up, Jason? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, let me break this down this morning. You know, that's a question that you could expect from the colonizers. You could expect that. Listen, if Marvel can put that term in a movie, it must be mainstream. So don't get all fucking sensitive about it. I want to answer the if Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other question once and for all. And I know where it's coming from now. I mean, you know, it comes from fear. So, you know, if you got somebody who's got some fear in their heart about other black people, I get it. Does anybody feel like they agree with them? Hey, I haven't got to the comments yet. People might agree with Black Russia. I could be completely on an island by myself. This little island right here, that's me on the island. I don't know. Let me jump back into the chat and see and find out. Hey, listen, hit me with a like and a share this morning if you like this kind of content as I continue to build out the Nathan Ivey Show. All right, good morning to you. I can't be everywhere. Post it in multiple, tag people, let people know where we are. Appreciate you in advance. All right. Let me go straight to the phones. We getting the call. Looks like we getting a call from the West Coast. Okay. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Mr. Drop.
Well, thank you for having me, sir. Shout out to the All Middle and their affiliates. I tuned in during Black Russia's call. Great call as usual. And Mr. Ivey, you have a quite interesting topic today. And I know you are the essential raconteur and provocateur when it comes to the podcast, radio, talk show space in Cincinnati. So you're going to get a lot of reaction from that title, which of course, I know that's what you want. But Mr. Ivey, Black Lives Matter as an organization has only been around since 2013. You are aware of that, right?
I know they're relatively new. Yes.
Okay, so when you're telling when you're talking to Black Russia, you were talking about when you mentioned black on black crime, somehow that diminishes Black Lives Matter. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, that's my theory. My theory is that when people try to juxtapose or compare the two or leverage the two against one another, what their intent is to try to bring down the Black Lives Matter movement, try to delegitimize it.
Oh, okay, well, I totally appreciate that opinion, but I have a different opinion. I think that what they're trying to do is to get Black Lives Matter to include the black lives that were taken at the hands of other black gangsters and criminals.
And that's my point.
As opposed to Black Lives Matter only focusing on police involved murders of black people.
You're exactly right. And that's my point. And in doing so, they try to delegitimize it by saying, hey, you're not legitimate unless you're going to include this. That's exactly the point.
But see, you're adding that word legitimate and legitimize. I don't think that's part of it. I think if you leave that part out and just hold Black Lives accountable as an organization, to put the same effort, the same money, and the same voice behind the lives of the victims of black on black crime.
See?
You don't even have to say black on black crime, just other murder victims.
See?
Whoever killed them, Black Lives Matter as an organization with their numbers of dollars that have been contributed to them, to use those dollars to not only focus on the victims of police crime, but also focus on black victims in general.
See?
Like the families of the victims in Chicago, LA, Detroit, wherever the case is.
Listen to
this
you.
is what people are saying about the organization.
No,
now, first of all, Mr. Ivy,
about the
prior, okay, so let's set aside Black Lives Matter. Okay, what was the black community doing prior to 2013 when it came to black victims of crime, whether it be from police, other black people, white people, or Hispanic?
They was doing a lot.
What?
I said, what you mean what? They was doing a lot. Okay,
so how is Black Lives Matter even a major issue for you? I don't get it. They're just a organization that now pretty much doesn't even exist. There's no structure. There's no leadership. There's no accountability for the money. Nobody's sending them money anymore. They're not appearing on TV shows anymore. Who's the head of the Black Lives Matter chapter in Cincinnati? Can you tell me his name or her name?
I cannot.
Exactly. Who's the national spokesperson?
That's
who's
more
the
an
national
example of my ignorance, rather than the lack of there being a presence in Cincinnati. That's more, you just uncovered my ignorance, not the fact that there's a lack of people that's fighting for this, or there is a leader of the Black Lives Matter here. I just don't know. Don't mean it out there.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Mr. Ivy. They became a political organization during the 25th. I mean, during the campaign during 2016, because they basically
organization.
But I'm talking about nationally. The term Black Lives Matter, that was out there way before 2013, and you already know that. But they weren't a nationally known organization until Michael Brown got shot in St. Louis, Missouri. And you know that. And everybody associated with Black Lives Matter is also part of the Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network coalition.
What's your point in all of this, sir?
And you also know that. My whole point is, Mr. Ivy, the title of your show is a legitimate question that black people should be very, very concerned with.
Tell me why this is legitimate.
Because
tell me how that's a legitimate question.
Because black people are victims all the time, Mr. Ivy, all the time. And all these family members of these victims who died or injured severely at the hands of other young black people, they want the same attention. They want the same national coverage that these victims who are killed by police officers. That's all they're asking. There's a lady in Chicago who has a shrine
to do that. Then,
but
don't try to delegitimize the Black Lives Matter movement, because it
doesn't. They need
to
be delegitimized. Don't you see what they're doing, Mr. Ivy?
You think it needs to be done. Just go create a national organization that does that for victims.
They have been exposed as just nothing but a race hustling organization.
Maybe so.
All the so-called leadership took this money, did not distribute it to the local people who are out here on the. No, it's not. It's the same issue. You brought them. No, when you say we can't, you shouldn't bring up black on black crime because you diminish Black Lives Matter. Nobody give a damn about Black Lives Matter as an organization. It's stupid, and you know it is.
So it's stupid.
They didn't do a
fight
damn
for the
thing.
Lives of black people at the hands of police officers. Come on, man. You don't make any sense, Drop.
No, I'm telling you, Mr. Ivy, black people were being killed by police officers before 2013, and you know it.
Yes, I know that. So what's your point?
My point is, before Black Lives Matter as a national organization, you had NAACP, you had Rainbow Coalition, you had Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. They were the so-called spokespeople for Black America. Then along comes Black Lives Matter. They all of a sudden speak for all Black people. Nobody give a damn about Black Lives Matter. And you know it, Mr. Ivy. They're just a bunch of race hustlers and poverty pimps. Where are the four ladies that started the organization? Where are they? They made their money. They got their millions. They got their book deals. They got their movie deals. And they've moved on. Moved on, Mr. Ivy. So again, great topic. And I want to give a shout out to Donita. I reached out to her and I got a call back from her late yesterday. And we are going to do something, Mr. Ivy, and I appreciate you trying to be a moderator or to be to bring us together.
You were running from her. I already told them.
I didn't run from her. I'm not going to say.
Live stream it because she might get me and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, please, Mr. Ivy, you need to quit. But anyway, Mr. Ivy, all I got to say, Del Rio, Texas, over 15,000 Haitians that have rushed the border. Where's Kamala Harris? Okay, you got the Biden military sending out drone attacks of a mysterious ISIS-K organization, but they blow up 7 kids and 3 aid workers. Where is Dr. Fauci? Dr. Fauci ain't Mr. Ivy. It's just a mess. And you want to talk about this today? You want to talk about this and the relevant organization that have been exposed for what they really are, Mr. Ivy? Call some of the victims of the 6 people that got murdered in Chicago over the weekend. Talk to them because those stories have been taken off.
Republicans start talking about Chicago,
okay,
and
Chicago,
and y'all little examples. It sounds
because I'm in California.
You don't give a damn about nobody in Chicago. You don't care at all. You just keep talking about Chicago
about as much as you care.
It makes some little
about point. As much as you care about Representative Republican Mr. Gonzalez from your state of Ohio, who's not running for re-election because he ain't getting no money because don't nobody want him around the Republican Party no more because it's Trump's party. Okay, but
you're fearless again, Trump.
Oh, the Democrats doing such a great job. Sleepy Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. America's doing so great. Where's all the people dancing? I dance.
In 2022, you gonna vote for him?
He's not running for president in 2022.
If he runs, will you vote for him?
If he's the Republican nominee in 2024, yes, like I voted for him the last 2 times. Get over it, Mr. Ivy. 75 million Americans, 75 million Americans legitimately voted for the incumbent president in 2020. Okay?
All right. And it wasn't enough, brother.
What do you have to lose?
Everything.
What do you have to lose?
Everything.
So anyway, Mr. Ivy, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for making
Great topic. It's going to be interesting to sit back and listen. And maybe before your show ends, somebody will call in, and tell us what a great job Joe Biden is doing with his foreign policy, with his economic policy, with his COVID-19 policy. Let somebody please tell me why I should vote for Democrats in 2022 or 2024. Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black Not Democrat, dropping science to anyone who wants to fact check it. Peace.
Yeah, we will fact check. We appreciate you. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the 2 calls we got so far. That black man right there. Oh boy, that's all I can say. Just shake my head sometimes. Deshauna writes, my weekend sucked. I had to work, LOL, but did go out to Oktoberfest, and the prices down there was way high, cash only, and the ATM charge was high. I left. Really? They taxing people out there to go to Oktoberfest? People into different things. My son and I, man, our Saturday morning ritual, we're going to continue to do it as long as the weather allows us to do it. We go out every Saturday morning. We got a couple parks we go to. We hit the basketball court up. I'm working on his LiAngelo ball. Speaking of which, man, sidebar, I want to give LeVar Ball props. Everybody was hating on LeVar Ball. Why he do this? He need to get in the way. He out the way of his sons. He think he his sons. Everybody was hating on this black man. But I want to offer up LeVar Ball as a living embodiment of black excellence. Because he's been able to do something that I don't think has ever happened before. I love LeVar Ball. I love when he's started the Big Baller brand. You should start your own shoe brand. Why you got to buy everything from somebody else? Do your own thing. And LeVar Ball, you don't know, he has 3 sons in the NBA right now. Now, you might be thinking, NBA, that's not really that big of an accomplishment. That might be your opinion. But something needs to be said for this, that 3 of the top athletes in the country came from one household. And this boy in the right, in the red, that boy right there is fire. He is fire. What's his name? LaMelo is fire. Anybody who knows anything about basketball will tell you that boy right there, all his sons are dope. All of his sons in the NBA right now. 2 of them were lottery picks. One of his boy, rookie of the year. I'm saying, like, going from right to left, from the youngest to the oldest to the middle boy on the far left. So you got LaMelo, Lonzo, and LiAngelo. You know what I'm saying? Melo, Zoe, and Jello. So props to LeVar Ball. People tried to hate that black man. They had to try to hate on him. He just talked too much. He do this, he do that. We just not used to seeing a black father be real upfront in a situation like that. Most people just kind of play it back. And I think he learned. You know what I'm saying? Your pops out here saying, my son gonna be better than Steph Curry. My son gonna be better than Steph Curry. What I'm supposed to say? I love it. Props to LeVar Ball, man. Ball in the family, balling out. They all got skills. That takes discipline. That takes foresight. That's like some modern day. I got to watch that movie with Serena and Venus with Will Smith playing their father. Oh, I got to watch that. I'm ready to see that. I'm going to make my children into world-class athletes. This is what you're going to do. Just willpower, discipline, hard work. We're going to make this happen. We're going to manifest this ish right here. It's freaking beautiful. I love it. Yum, yum. Should be an inspiration to us all. Can't wait for the NBA season. This was beautiful. Everybody tried to hate on this black man. He talked too much. He in the way. His boys going to do this. They ain't going to do that. What'd he say? He said, what about women? Please stop it. That was a sneaker industry trying to snipe it, assassinate his character, because the last thing that Nike and Adidas and Reebok want, and one, the 4 big shoe manufacturers, the last thing they need is for these ballers to start starting their own brands fresh out of college, because it cuts them out. Air, whatever my last name is, Air Ivies. Get these Air Ivies. That is super dope. Super dope. Love it. Told y'all. Told you. Stop hating. Dante writes, I think self-hatred is the reason why we kill each other with ease. For some reason, we just don't like each other. Man, I seen 2 viral videos over the weekend of people getting shot. I'm not even going to play it for you. And one, looks like they're in a convenience store, and these 2 cats get into it. One of them opens up with them paws, starts putting them paws on dude, but he didn't down him. Dude pulls out a gun and leaves him in a pool of blood and walks out. Shoots him like 4-5 times, close range, walks out the convenience store. The hell? White folks don't go to bars and shoot each other. Sure they do. Come on, Luddy. You know better than that. Stop it. There's no kind of violence that you see perpetrated anywhere that is particular to any one kind of race, in my opinion. Stop it. Stop it. Angela writes, hi, Junior and Buddha. You see Medium Buddha? She was looking good. Look, that's my little girl right there. Luddy writes, Andy ain't going to Super Bowl. All I'm saying is when he was here, he was Andy Dalton. Rudy Tooty, howdy doody. He goes to Chicago. He's Andrew Dalton. Hair all whippy, whipsy up like Salt Bay. Andrew Dalton. That's not Andy Dalton. I'm Rudy Tooty, Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, and all this kind of goofball, goofy juice type stuff. That motherfucker go to Chicago, get him with a black woman. Shh. She sprinkled some of that Stefan Urkel juice on him, man. That sprinkle, that dust on him. Yeah, transformation. Andrew Dalton is here. Candy Dalton. No, that's not Candy Dalton. Candy Dalton did nothing extraordinary. I swear to God, I turn on the game, literally. I see Andy Dalton first thing. I'm like, who is that? I had no idea who it was. I'm like this, looking at the screen like, who is that? Because the shot that they took, it was from this direction. I couldn't see the back of his jersey. I'm like, who is this redheaded dude? Got the little swirlies, women like those. Got the little swirlies, it's all shaved down. You know what I'm saying? Definitely inspired by the brothers, no doubt. Or the lead singer of Maroon 5, can't remember his name. And got the beard game popping, looking all, I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's Andrew Dalton over there. That's who that is. Good morning to you. Good morning. Charles Rice Jr. will not be denied his airtime. You're right about that. He wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. He said, I'm going to cut somebody's head off. LOL, these kids these days, man, they say anything. Oh, my God, that's my heart right there. They got my heart all day, every day. Andrew writes, I hate to see what's going on, but also understand crime is just crime. It has no color. It really hurts my heart when our young babies get caught in the middle of gunfire. Man, I was on the Voice of, Black Cincinnati. They do a public service where, they're working with the CPD to some degree. I don't know the strength of the relationship, but they post, some of the information to try to help solve some of these homicides in the city. Props to them for that. And I most recently saw like these images of these 3 young brothers, man. I'm with you on that, Anthony. On some level, it does touch you. Obviously, you care. But 2 things are true at the same time. One, there are a lot of Black people in this city that are focused on, have been working on, and will continue to work on those particular issues. So we do a disservice to them. And we also show the ignorance in our own knowledge when we say nobody cares. That's just not true. Now, if you really believe that, then if you one of them people, I'm going to challenge you. If you one of them people and you're like, oh, nobody cares when Black people kill Black people, well, then the challenge for you is to go start that organization there. That's the challenge for you, because I'm here to tell you, as people in this city that's on top of it, they're working with the police. They do nonprofit work. They do volunteer work. They pass out flyers. They do all kinds of stuff to try to work in that particular area. But I think it's fair to hold against the Black community the natural phenomenon that, depending on your race and your locale, you're more likely to fall victim. If you fall victim to a homicide across the board, you're more likely to fall victim to a homicide by somebody that looks like you. It's unfair to use that natural phenomenon against the Black Lives Matter movement that's trying to push the needle to hold police accountable in their interactions with us. That don't make no damn sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. That makes as much sense as holding the fact that we don't have enough Black home ownership and connecting that back to homicides perpetrated by people in the same race. One has nothing to do with the other. And Drop made my point completely, and he didn't even realize. I just let him talk. They need to be delegitimized. First he said, nobody's trying to delegitimize them. Then he said, they need to be delegitimized. That's my point. People who make that argument are trying to delegitimize the Black Lives Matter movement. And it really doesn't matter to me what you think about the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't care who got paid and who got a house. Put that all to the side. The idea It raise awareness about the interactions between police and black people, right? Which is at the essence of what Black Lives Matter was trying to do. Whether they were effective or not, whether they're a real organization, whether they've been taken over, whatever the hell it may be, that concept has merit to it. And it has nothing to do with homicides that might be being committed in our community whatsoever. The only reason why people connect those two is to try to say, well, you would be more legitimate if you talked about this too. And I'm thinking to myself, let's say I go out and create a nonprofit, right? We're going to work in the community. And somebody's going to try to tear down what I'm doing because I'm not doing what they think I should be doing. Well, my answer to you is you go do it. Like if you feel like there needs to be a national organization, a bigger voice to be a voice for the victims, then damn it, go create it. Go start it. What's stopping you? Go do it. But how you gonna tell somebody else that started, they got their own movement? You gonna tell them, oh no, add this and do this and do that. It's just a tool of destruction. We're gonna tear this down. Okay, no, we're not gonna hold police. No, we're not gonna talk about police violence against unarmed black people. We're not gonna talk about that. No. We feel much more comfortable talking about black people committing homicides against other black people. Now, where you think that energy's coming from? Who wins when we do that? Why can't we do both at the same time? Why can't we support the organizations that's working to be a voice for the victims and simultaneously still be working to hold police accountable in their interactions with black folks? Why can't we do both at the same time? That's what I never understood. Why has it got to be either or? Why can't it be both? That's just me. So again, to answer the question, again, I want to put this to bed this morning. Let's put it to bed. Answering the if Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other question once and for all. Let's break this all the way down, family. Luddy writes, stop. White folks ain't killing each other like we, period. Like take Price Hill, for example, that is the melting pot of low income with all nationalities. Bruh, ask CPD how many black folks have due from the hands of other black folks versus white on white crime. He writes, stop it. Okay, Luddy, I see you, bro. Okay, appreciate you being here. Y'all, Luddy writes, y'all don't want to accept accountability. What you mean, y'all? Who you mean by y'all? And who are you saying is not taking accountability? See, that's the other thing, man. Black folks, we got to be accountable for the actions of each and every black person. White folks don't have to do that. That's that plantation mentality. You know, Master come back from his long walk in the fields and he reaches into his berries of fruit and he notices somebody stole a strawberry. Who stole my strawberry? Everybody in the house in the fields got to pay for it. The hell out of here. Jenny writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning. Sean writes, crime is crime. Black on black crime does not exist. It is propaganda tool that is used to make blacks appear more violent. In NYC, the Westies, an Irish gang, has committed more than crime than any other ethnic group within the city. Can't speak to the last part of that. Gladys writes, okay, they're talking about themselves. You can talk across the board always. Come on in. I'll say I swim with a crew of sharks. They all bite, but all really good people. We get up and get our brains popping every single morning, talking about the great issues of the day, or maybe we are partaking in an interview, something that's interesting, if not locally relevant. All right, feel free to join. All are welcome. I will say, don't come in here with no dumbish. The best way to come into the chop shop is humble. This is Cyber Wakanda. Come in on humble tip. Come in with some facts. You all good. It's all good. Billy writes, take the fit in the person wearing it. Who made it? Throw it all in the trash. You don't like this, huh, Billy? You don't like that? Or what is this? You don't like this C3PO? I ain't even going to show you some of his other stuff because he was on some, other type stuff. But again, he's an artist, man. I saw him on the Breakfast Club. That brother knows exactly what he's doing. He's having fun. He's not a role model. He said, F your kids. He's making big money, big money, big money. And that's it. That was very, very clear. But if you don't know this brother right here, and I want to know, do you see this becoming a trend? I can see this. I don't know if it's going to take over. Now, it's not going to take over blue jeans. I'm not saying that. But I can see some people wearing some pieces here and there. Now, Cincinnati, we're about 8 to 10 years late on everything. So if people in the big cities like New York and Los Angeles is rocking stuff like this now, this is called Flemons. It's a brother that does this. And his style is non-binary, gender neutral. And he's got some pieces that's sort of like inspired by that cotton field slave chic type of thing. All right. May not be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even sure how much it's cost. Actually, I was on this website, but I didn't check to see what the prices was. Let me check real quick. How much would this piece cost you right here? This lovely piece. What's up with you, Irene? Who they nation is who they nation, huh? I just sent, okay, I appreciate you, Irene. She sent me a request, an invitation to join the Who They Nation Facebook group. Okay, I go in there and have fun with my peoples. I'll have fun with my peoples. Yeah. So let me look this up real quick. I want to see how much this costs. This piece right here. This piece right here. I want to see. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check this up. Check this out. Hold on. Flemons. There it is. Yes, I want to check this out. Hold on 1 second, fam. There it is. I want to check out what bro is wearing. Looking good out here, huh? Yeah, so that could be the new hotness. It could be. It don't have to be, but it could be. It could be. I get it. I'm not mad at it. Somebody try to compare it to what Lil Nas X. I mean, on the sense they trying to make fashion statement, yeah, but that's about it. I think that's about it. I could be wrong. Oh my gosh. Brandy writes, nope, you ain't feeling that. Donnie B's in the house. She writes, this doesn't remind me of slavery at all. It looks like a train for a wedding dress. Also, this form of slavery ended 156 years ago. So why are we wearing this? Question mark. No, our pain is a fashion statement. Nah, GTFOA. She said, nope. Sarah writes, nope. Ayana writes, nope. Arnell writes, hell nah. Susan writes, nope. Y'all ain't got no fashion sense. Y'all so bland. Live a little. Your bland ass mofos. Damn. I showed you the brother from Africa who had like the neckties. It was like nooses or something like that. Y'all's all negative Nancy's out here. No, I don't like that. It's too much like a noose. Live a little. Damn, you can wear more than just jeans and t-shirts and sweatshirts. Your bland ass. Get out here and live YOLO. Now, later, that brother came out in a statement and apologized and said he understood why people thought it was offensive. I must give you the update on that. I found at least one piece in the collection I would rock. Y'all so uptight. Stop being so damn uptight. Toy writes, when I hear someone going down the path of if Black Lives Matter, why? I realize we aren't having the same conversation, so I disengage. That is smart. And see, what's smart is that Toy understands we ain't having the same conversation. She's so right about that. You so right about, see, black women, they just know how to do it. They know how to do things. Exactly. That's exactly right. Billy writes, take the fit in the, okay, I think I read that already. Arnell writes, what type of statement is a designer trying to make? Well, it's interesting. If you're deep into it, I would just try to find the brother. Hold on. Can't find it right here. I would try to find the brother. His name is Jermy Pope. Okay, so if you look up Jeremy Pope and then go on, let's say like Instagram, Jeremy Pope. Matter of fact, News One, I'll post this link for you. You can check it out for yourself. You can look it up for yourself if you're interested. I'm fascinated about the things that human beings do. I'm fascinated by our culture. People are fascinating to me. You know what I'm saying? I find people to be fascinating. So when I learn about somebody new doing some dope ish, man, like I got to go searching and just learn about a little more about them. So I found the designer. His name is James Flemons. His last name is Flemons. The name of his design company is Flemons, phonetically Phlemuns. All right. You can find it on Instagram. And he's got a lot of this kind of stuff. Non-binary, gender neutral. Some of it is inspired by like the cotton fields type of thing, making a broader political statement, which I understand a little bit about. I can never be so arrogant to believe that I can jump directly into another artist's vision and completely understand it. But I think I can understand where he's coming from a little bit, in the sense of like, you know, the modern day fashion industry was built upon the backs of black folks because the primary fabric was cotton. You think of cotton and black folks, you think of slavery, the oppression, the Holocaust, all that kind of stuff. So now you bring it back to 2021. And as somebody said so correctly, as I understand, is that Met Gala is looked upon as a runway for new collections and making like all types of like artsy or avant-garde statements, whatever the proper term is. I don't know. You tell me. That's a bit outside of my world. But I thought it was interesting because at first glance, you're thinking, oh, he's dressing like a woman. You might think that. But he's not really dressing like a woman. He is, you know, and again, that statement is probably so wrong for people. I'm just ignorant as fuck about all of that and stumbling my way through it. So don't hold that against me. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find this for you. Oh no. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Let me see if I can find this for you. I think I can pull this up. It's real quick. Now I don't know what this Jeremy Pope. I don't know what his gender ish statement or whatever is. It makes no difference to me. I don't really care. But let me see if I can pull this up real quick and you can see this. Yeah, check this out. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know. That's all I got for you. That's something that was on his Instagram. So again, he's making the largest statement about the formation of the fashion industry in America and how it built its empires, its many empires, off the back of the manipulation of cotton and therefore the exploitation of black people. I think I said it correctly. Give myself a little pat on the back. See here. Y'all so square. You ain't gonna rock none of these fashions. You so square. Quit being square. Damn, Cincinnati and Tracy Rice won't be following this trend. Yo, no, let that brother speak for himself, Tracy. Let that brother speak for himself. Dante writes, they asked that question because we're always in the forefront making a plea for black lives. They believe that why should cops or anyone else value our lives if we don't value our lives? Dante, I don't believe they believe that at all. Because again, I think anybody that would make that conclusion, like, well, black people, how could you care about black people? How could you really get behind Black Lives Matter if you don't care about all these police shootings? And it implies two things that are dead wrong, right? Dante, if we're to believe that people that ask that question really believe it and don't know how disrespectful it is, then we would have to believe that they really think that black people don't care when they hear about homicides being committed. And I think for you to believe something like that, you'd either have to be disconnected from the community or just have a real negative view of the community, or you on some Judas and the Black Messiah type ish. I find that hard to believe. I cannot believe that. Like, for somebody to believe that would be astounding. And the reason why is we never say that to non-black folks. We don't hold non-black folks that. That's like saying, why should we care about, let's say you got organizations out there. That's like saying, like, let me just take the Erica J. Holman Foundation just for a second, because I can kill two birds with one stone. They got a new fundraiser coming up. I'll share the information with you again. You can get a mammogram, and triple negative breast cancer in particular impacts black women, and the research money just isn't there. And some people speculate is because of who the victims of that disease typically are. And so when black people are only ones primarily affected by it, the money don't come in as fast. So people who are hip to this kind of thing, like the people of the Erica J. Holman Foundation, they want to raise awareness about it and push the research because they want to save lives. I know someone who died of triple negative breast cancer, and it's absolutely terrible. So having made that real point, that's a real thing that's going on here. Let me now compare that to make another comparison, or just to make a point, whether it makes sense or not. Because to me, when I hear people making a connection between, well, if Black lives really matter, what about black on black crime? It's like, okay, so we can't do two things at one time. So we can't fight for triple negative research money for triple negative breast cancer that in particular impacts black women. If we don't care about, and at the same time, that means we don't care about, homicides being committed by black folks. It's ridiculous. It's a preposterous standard that we don't hold anybody else in this country to, just us. And because of this racism and white supremacy and PlayStation-ish that some people are still dealing with, you got even some black people that will internalize and start projecting that nonsense. And in their own heads, it makes perfect sense. They are oblivious to how they become unwitting agents of the dumb-ish. They don't even realize it. They don't even realize it. It don't have to be a competition. It don't have to be a comparison. We do that. Why we got to do that with our issues? We got to compare and compete with our issues. We just can't have multiple issues that have merit in and of themselves and merit in and of themselves to be dealt with separately. No. With us, we got to compare. It's a competition. They want to pit us together just like they used to do in the plantation. Early boxing events. You know what they were? It was on the damn plantation because they just love to sit up on the porch with a big old piece of peach pie and some lemonade, and watching black bodies destroy one another. They just love that. That was just good Sunday Christian fun. And on some levels, we still doing it and don't even realize it. It's quite sad. Diana writes, God didn't create a non-binary person, so what the F are non-binary clothes? Okay. Uh-oh. You're going to bring the non-binary people out on you, sis. Let me see. Danita writes, Drop sent a message on Twitter, and I called him back kind of late, so he may not have had a chance to get back with me. We're going to work on the live idea. Give the people what they want. Okay, push him, Danita, because I'm telling you, when I talked to him on Friday, he was sweating. He was trying to laugh it off. Hey, I knew he was going to call on that. Yeah, I was going to call because I told you I was. I told the people I was going to do it, so I got to come through. And he was running. Well, I don't want to do this. I want it to be on my show. I'm like, it be on your show. Let's live stream it. Well, I want to be able to listen to it first. And I'm like, why you want to listen to it first, Drop, so you can decide whether you want to put it out or not? Don't run from sis. He was like, why would I run from her? I was like, because Danita going to get in them guts. That's why. That's why. And she's a female. She coming for you. Yeah, ain't no difference. I talk to everybody. That's what he said, Danita, just to let you know. So when you get them, get them. Fame writes, media talked about white on white crime for 80 years. Now the mafia is pretty much non-existent since Gotti died. I ain't never heard no damn white on white crime in the media. Never. Luddy writes, what has the Black Lives mural done paint? Wait. What has the Black Lives mural done paint? Wait. What does the Black Lives Matter done paint mural in the street? Where is Black Lives Matter when these crimes are committed? Does Black Lives Matter reach its victims' family? Stop. Luddy, I think you asking the wrong question to the wrong people. The real question is not where is Black Lives Matter when these crimes are committed, Luddy. Since you care so much about this, the real question is where are you when these crimes are committed? That's the real question. How you gonna say where's somebody else at? Where are you? That's the real question. Black Lives Matter paint. Look, I said my piece on the paint. I already talked about it. I spent a lot of time. I stand by everything I said. However, they built it now and they're building it out into something bigger. And since they're gonna do it, I figure, hey, might as well jump on board. You know what I'm saying? We need more black spaces for whatever the case may be. And if that's what they're going to do, let's try to get something positive out of it. Let's try to get something, some equity policy tangibles or something out of it. That's how I look at it. But you know how I feel about paint on the ground. I already said it. Doesn't need to be repeated unless it need to be repeated. Nikki writes, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Good to see you. Good to see you. Luddy writes, F your kids. That's right. Kamika writes, the theme of the Met was America, a lexicon in fashion. I saw that. What speaks more to how America was built other than slavery? Great point. It's a walking art show, and there was a message in that outfit. No one is wearing that anywhere. You don't think so? You don't think so? I don't know. I went back to his website. He got some pieces that are that I can see people wearing. And they've got that whole cotton field kind of feel to it, slavery kind of thing. It don't bang you in the head, but you can definitely tell it's there. I guarantee all it's gonna take is for Drake to put it on. All it's gonna take is for Drake to put on one piece. That's all it'll take. Get Drake to put on a piece. I'm not sure else you'll get it on. Get Drake to rock it. Don't get Breezy to rock it. It's a rap then. It is a rap. Let me see. Charles writes, I'm just saying all three of them look ridiculous. Luddy writes, research Egyptian gods. Toy writes, the phrase black on black crime was thrown out there and we society ran with it. Murder is murder. The overgeneralization isn't accurate. Crime happens where you look for it, focus on it. Look in white communities and you'll see white victims and perpetrators. Absolutely, I agree. Just great points. Great points. Good morning, great people. Good to see you. Come on in. Janice writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Now, listen, let me take a quick pause for the calls and we'll come right back. We'll come right back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live, I'm local, and I'm vocal. Before we go into a break, I want to remind you that the last day to register to vote is October the 4th. If you are not currently registered or you need to update your name or address, you must submit your voter registration form to your local board of elections no later than 9 p.m. on October the 4th. Because on October the 5th, early voting opens. So think about that. You can register by October the 4th. And then the very next day, you can early vote. You got 3 ways in which you can vote in the election. One is early in person at your local board of elections. Here in Hamilton County, that's at 4700 Smith Road in Norwood, Ohio. Absentee by mail, if you want to vote by mail, or on November the 2nd, which is election day, you can vote at your assigned polling location. All right. I want to give you a heads up on all the stuff that's going on, right? Also, when we come back from break, we'll continue the conversation. And tomorrow there's going to be a big mayoral debate. And I want to talk about what to look for, what I'm looking for in the next mayor, just a little bit. It's a local issue. It may not be the sexy of things. I won't bore the hell out of you, but I want to hit it just a little bit. Plus, what's your take on it? Do you think that's a fair comparison or fair question? I hear this from time to time. If Black Lives Matter, why do black people keep killing each other? Is that a fair question? What do you think? Tell me what you think when we come back.
Your eyes tell me that you don't wanna leave just yet. No, my eyes agree. It's almost like when we first met. Oh, I don't care, it's getting too late. I want you and I can't wait. Don't wanna spend a minute without you. I know you feel the same.
All right, good morning, everybody. Quick break, just a few minutes. Good morning to you. You got me up until at least 9:30 a.m. this morning. So let me give you a heads up. Man, I've got a lot of invitations out for a lot of folks, some local, some national, to come on the show this week. To this point, I could tell you, if you're thinking about voting in the upcoming election, make sure you check out the show on Thursday. I've got current member of City Council. His name is Steve Gooden. He's a white male Republican. He's scheduled to be my guest on Thursday morning. So don't be surprised to see candidates as early as tomorrow. Although tomorrow, I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about some things that are happening in the state of Ohio as it relates to the legal marijuana trade. I've got two interested in that story, and I'll share more with you tomorrow. I planned to have it today, but I pushed it off one day to accommodate a guest. So look for that tomorrow morning. Should be quite interesting. Again, that legal marijuana, that's that reparations right there. It all comes down to the economics, the dollars, man, to the dollars. A classy one writes, yo, why do black men have a problem with a black man wearing dress, yet wear saggy pants would start in prison to let another black man know he was gay? Luddy writes, come on, Nate. Susan writes, yes, Nathan, period. Broadly speaking, we do not commit a disproportionate amount of crimes. The racial distribution of shootings mirrors the racial distribution of the U.S. population as a whole. Jason writes, so wear clothes that remind me of slavery. Sarah writes, slaves had sacks to fill cotton with, not a wedding train. Well, again, I know what it looks like, Sarah, and good morning to you, brother. Good to see you. I know what this looks like, but that is not a wedding train. That is supposed to be the representation, the updated artistic representation, the vision of the black artist of the sack that the slaves used to put cotton in. And I don't know. I understand it. I get what he's trying to say. I understand why the sack that would be filled with cotton would be exaggerated in a form like this. At least I think I understand. I probably don't. But he's trying to get deep with it. Is he? Is he too deep? I don't know. I don't think so. Luddy writes, y'all in denial. This man telling you his caseloads, Hamilton County ain't all black. And I agree with him. I agree with what he said. That's what he said, Luddy. I took him for his word, man, as I do everybody. Luddy writes, you won't crack the crime problem. Find out where these guns coming from. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Love writes, so stop asking the question and get to the bottom of it. This same question has been asked for years. Where are the answers? The powers that be can figure out everything else. Susan writes, if all lives matter, why is anyone killing anyone? Absolutely. Oh my God, the choppers, man. A little tear go through my eyes. Y'all so tight. I love intelligent black people. I love it. If all right, Susan, you stealing my thunder here. Right. I thought the same thing. Susan. Exactly. If all lives matter, which you got these white folks out here and everybody, all lives matter, right? So let's use that same logic. And this is what you use against the people out there on that dumbass that bring this stuff up. Well, if Black Lives Matter, why are Black people killing each other? And you hit them with, well, do you believe in all lives matter? They'll say yes, all lives matter. And then you hit them with, well, then why is anyone killing anyone? They're gonna look at you like, 1, 2, 3. What? Exactly. Susan, we leveling up. Way up. We leveling up. Thank you for being here. Woody writes, Black Russia, what a joke. He just wants something to bash black people. Nah, Black Russia plays a role here on the show. You know, he brings a different energy. He brings a whole different viewpoint. It's just my job to try to make it useful. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Nate? Good morning.
Well, good morning to you.
I forgot to. This is Daryl. I forgot to tell you happy birthday last week. I was on vacation and forgot.
I forgot to say something on my birthday.
It looks like you had a good time, though.
I did have a good time.
Good. And cherish those good times. Hey, you were talking about this whole thing with the discussion around this, what about black on black crime and that whole perspective. I typed in the chat, and I don't know if anybody got where I was coming from, but what I've learned from listening to these, I do it in a different platform now, but usually it's on YouTube. The In Class with Dr. Carr from Howard University.
Yeah, I'm here to the brother.
Okay, so he talks about he talks about two structures, governing and social, and the social structure, and the way you want to look at it is like a perspective. And so when you ask that question and you look at it from the social structure, that's how we are viewed by the white supremacist system in America. So when that question is asked, then it tends to be, and you alluded to this, it tends to be to effectively dehumanize and devalue us as Black people. That's where that somebody, like you said, who, depending on who asked that question. So if a white person, even some Black people, they're buying into the myth of devaluing, dehumanizing, and marginalizing Black people. If you flip that over to the governing structure, which is how we view and value each other as Black people, then that question takes on a whole different circumstances. And then we begin to dig into the surface of, I think I heard Black Russia saying he would be, afraid if you saw a gang of teenagers and he had to walk past them or something like that, or you would be nervous or you would want to move. But then but the whole point of the matter is it begins to look at how we view each other and what we value as African Americans. And some of that is, what's the word I want to use? Some of that I'll say this word. I know I got a better adjective, but I'll say contaminated with the views of white supremacy in terms of how we look at ourselves. Therefore, we begin to, within that governing structure, we begin to devalue ourselves and then we, where we see young people killing each other for dumb reasons. And so this whole discussion, when you look at it, it's a deep discussion, and and a lot can be fleshed out from there, because then it gets into not only why do we kill each other if Black lives matter, are important. But, you know, how I'm at the point like, okay, we identified the problem. We know where it originated from, but how do we begin to, you know, what are the solutions? You know, what can we do to solve the problem or at least alleviate some of it? I mean, you know, violence, you know, they're just bad people out there, but how can we alleviate it? And so it's not, and part of that is, I mean, think about it. This whole black on black crime, where does that whole narrative originates from? The social structure, which is white supremacy, because that idea is put out into the media and it's reinforced through images in the media. What are your thoughts about that, Nate?
Well, my thoughts are, like you said, I mean, that whole what about black on black crime, that was used against Dr. King. They told Dr. King, why are you talking about Vietnam? You should be talking about black on black crime. So it's an age-old tactic that's been used to, I think, delegitimize the concerns of, you know, black folks, especially when they started holding white people accountable. Like when you start holding the government accountable, or you start talking about police, they want to knock you off your focus and try to put you back on the focus, back on your own community. You know, like back you say, I mean, you know, the earliest black police officers weren't allowed to arrest white people. So it's like that same concept. Nate, police your own. Talk about your own. Don't talk about what we do to you. Just talk about what you're doing to each other. That kind of stuff.
Nate, you just touched on something. You know, when you said holding the government, holding white people accountable for their wrong, right? What happens when that happens? Automatically, they find people, or I should have put it this way: they find black people that are willing to accept that a narrative, or they become Judases in a sense to their own people. Because if I can give you 50 shekels of silver for you to carry this message and to carry the water of white supremacy against your own people, then you good. You one of those Negroes that you're all right, because you know, because that's how they maintain control. They're gonna find somebody. Malcolm X even said they're gonna find somebody that looks just like you to go out and purport that message of the oppressor. And you know, that's what it's all about. But man, this is a good discussion, man. I really appreciate it. And lastly, you know, that wolf, he still sucks. Peace.
Appreciate the call. He ain't giving fame no quarter, man. He ain't giving you no space, should I say. None. Hey, listen, if you want to chime in, 513-873-7134. So I've begun the process, and part of the process for me, I'm thinking about doing, you know, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. I want to put it out there first. Toy writes, getting a ticket or pulled over is the least of your concerns, but you and Nate aren't having the same conversation. Kathy writes, police killing black folks, young black folks killing black folks, police killing black folks, young black folks killing young black folks still equals black folks being killed. I agree with that. But I think there's a difference. Luddy writes, Nathan, you was out of touch with your peoples. Could be. Scotty Johnson's in the house. He's running for city council. He writes, good morning. For the record of all races of people killed in their own race, 90% of the time when there is a homicide, they are of the same race. White folks kill white folks also. I'm not afraid of our youth. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember we were talking about, yeah. I don't know. I mean, tell me what you think. I'm just asking the questions. I want to provoke some conversation this morning. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nate. Good morning. It's Donnie B. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Donnie. Good morning.
Good morning. And I'm so glad to be able to be a listener finally. I'm working, but I decided to peek in, and I saw a couple of things I wanted to touch on. So the first is the dude in the so-called white slave outfit at the Met Gala. So my question is, why, dude? First of all, you don't look like a slave at all. You look like you have on a wedding dress, and that you're trying to be super sexy. So let's just stop with the whole, this is me paying homage to the cotton pickers in the field. It doesn't look like that. So whatever message you were trying to portray. To me, it got lost. That doesn't look like a cotton sack to me. It looks like a wedding dress train. But my other question, the deeper question, is why? Slavery in this form ended in what, 1865? That's 156 years ago. So why would you come to the Met Gala dressed like that anyway? Like, it's not something that we should celebrate. You know what I mean? It's a terrible tragedy in our history. So I don't understand why, even if you really did look like what a slave looked like back then, why would that be what you would choose to do at the Met Gala, $20-something thousand a plate, when, you know, we evolved from slavery, from this form at least. So I didn't even understand why this would be something that anybody would do. So I feel like it's an epic fail on both of those fronts. And then I also wanted to touch on the black on black crime issue. I think it's immense for a few things. Number one, studies have shown people commit crimes in their neighborhood. So if you live in an all black neighborhood, you commit crimes against the people that you live with, no different than white. So it's not black on black crime, it's neighborhood crime. And if, you know, you go to white neighborhoods, they don't call it white on white crime when they shoot up a school, or, you know, when the husband kills his wife and leaves her in the bathtub, you know, and all this other crap. They just go, oh, a husband murdered his wife. But when we do something, it's always a racial crime, and I don't like that. And then I feel like what we really need to call gang violence and drug dealing is a white on black crime. We are the tools and we're the low-hanging fruit, but we don't bring those drugs into our neighborhood. Little Dante does not bring those guns into our neighborhood. You know, that's a product of the systemic racism, systemic economic oppression. And if you give our youth, and it really breaks my heart, like I want to cry, Nate, but I'm like, if you gave our youth the same path forward to success that you give the white kids, and let them know that they have the opportunity not to go and make $8 an hour, you know, at McDonald's for the rest of their life, barely making ends meet, but they could do real trades and get paid real money, go to college if that's their choice, have the same opportunities, same schools, you know, with the same resources and everything that the white kids in Indian Hill got. But there's no path forward for our kids. I've been doing this for a long time, and a part of me really wants to quit because I feel like they keep suppressing us. And the drug dealing and the gang violence is a response to the economic oppression that nobody really wants to deal with. So you got the U.S. attorney from the Southern District of Ohio that got on the news, you know, last year, talking about, I'm going to, you know, give you 10 years for a mere gun possession, even if you didn't kill anybody. And that you're going to move the lawyers that prosecute white collar crimes to a new task force to target our babies, because they are babies. Even though they're killing folks, they are babies, and there's trauma there. But rather than, where's the task force to understand how massive drugs are getting into our community? Where's the task force to understand and prevent all of these guns that our youth are getting and how they're getting in our community, and start there? I'm tired of us being a low-hanging fruit. And then you tell the Dantes when they go to jail for the 10 years and they come out, well, why don't you get a job and change your ways? But then nobody wants to hire them. So for me, I'm like, no, it's not black on black crime. It's actually white on black crime. It's economic oppression and the drug dealers, you know, and the petty thefts and the armed robberies. That's a response to the systemic oppression of our people for centuries. Slavery has not stopped. It's just a new form. And I take it all the way back around to the dude. I'm like, so if you want to wear an outfit, don't wear an outfit memorializing the cotton picking. How about you wear an outfit that reminds us of the systemic racism that we experience today in its current form, the police brutality we experience in its current form, the economic oppression that we experience in its current form, and make a political statement and a social justice statement that matters. But I don't relate to the cotton picker because I'm a lawyer and I'm at work. I'm not picking cotton anymore. But what I am doing is representing people that are systemically oppressed in every facet of life, in education, in jobs, in healthcare, in affordable housing. Wear that outfit, my guy. But, you know, that's me. So I appreciate the show. I'm so excited that I'm taking a sabbatical, so I actually get to listen in the mornings now. And I just wanted to say those few things.
There it is. I'm just talking. Now, you know I got to keep you on your toes, y'all. You know I got to do this at least for 2 or 3 minutes each and every show. And as soon as I start getting text messages, I already know. Mike, bro, thank you so much. I think you heard this, though. We'll go ahead and rag Donnie B. All great points I agree with. I don't disagree with her. I just see it differently. I think that with the brother statement right here he's making, that is a modern day statement about the fashion industry. But I get what she was pointing. I like the way her mind works. You know, she made a point, ended up coming right back around to it. So definitely leveling up the conversation. Every time somebody makes a superlative flow, and again, I guess I'll be the judge of it. Whether I agree or disagree with you, might hear this. That means we leveling up the conversation. We leveling up every single morning with each flow. So, but great points, great question about where's the task force for how the drugs are getting in here, and then where's the task force for how the guns are getting in here. All good points. 513-873-7134 if you want to share your thoughts this morning. I am aware now that my microphone was off. Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. I'm doing just good, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, I can't complain, man. Old school Mondays in the chop chop.
I like that.
You know, it's old school Monday, but I want to know why the hell I'm minding my black ass business. Why are y'all talking about me?
We talked about you?
Yeah, the homosexual from Atlanta, ironically said I suck. But he's the gay one.
I don't know. You talking about Daryl?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Daryl was gay.
Oh, big ass sissy.
I didn't know that, man. Why is that always your critique of black men? When you fall out with a black man, you always saying he gay. Why is that?
Because when he calls, you can hear the sugar cubes hit the ground. You listen closely. That's how sweet he is.
I never hear that.
You don't listen closely.
Oh, I listen very closely, usually twice. Never hear that, bro. But what's on your mind?
I don't have a problem with the gentleman's attire, with the gentleman's clothing.
You don't?
No, much like Lil Nas X. Make what you want to make. I'm the consumer. I'll decide if I want to deal with it. I'm not dealing with it. That's all. That's all. There's nothing to get up in arms about it. If he was a real intellectual, he'd have flipped him like, I'm making money off slavery. They did. Why can't I? Michael Jordan is. What? So the city invested in prison to make money off of it? Would that be any better? You're getting too up in arms about the wrong thing. Yet again, getting distracted. Black on black crime. Who cares? Crime is crime. We should not be killing each other. You're getting caught up on phrases. All lives matter. Black lives matter. Just stop killing each other. You brought it up earlier in the show, that story about those 3 young men got called to drive by in the car down in Pilsen is sad. Like, damn. I didn't know none of those kids, but when I'm looking at their faces, I'm like, I bet I know somebody who knows one of these people. Who are they, 20, and 24?
Yeah.
They haven't even started their lives yet. Those are still kids. They're just not, they're adults, but they're still kids. You know what I mean? They're legal adults, but they're still kids to me. Being 20 and 24, I'm old enough to be all those guys' dads. That story hurts. Like, damn. So quit worried about labels and titles and just do the work. Let's just do the work. You feel me?
I hear you.
Yeah. So, and also, before I go, shout out to Drop Squad. I didn't like the way you tried to play.
Who tried to play him?
Drop Squad 50. You did. So awesome. He running from Donita and
he was running from Donita. He wasn't on the phone call. You don't know what I heard.
You said that he's running from Donita.
He's running from Donita.
He said he wants a copy of the live stream. I don't blame him. Drop Squad 52 is a brand name. He ain't got time for people to be trifling with his name. You and Donita don't know disrespect to either one of y'all. I love both of you. But he ain't got time for y'all to be trifling with his brand name. That's a smart move by him. Anytime my voice go out, I want to be able to get a copy of it. I don't blame you.
That's not the issue.
Smart move.
That wasn't the
smart
issue.
move drop. Well, we get into the same point. We get into the same place coming from two directions. Smart move drop. All right. But yeah, that's all I got. But I just, y'all talking about me, and I don't appreciate it. Like, please stop. Like, you need to tell that guy, like, fame don't want to be. This could turn into Kabaka and Howard Beatty real quick.
Oh, boy.
Leave me alone,
Hopefully
bro.
not.
I'm not interested.
Because that ended with a brother dead and another brother caught up in the legal system. So hopefully not. It ain't that serious.
I don't know how to say it any plainer. I'm not interested in nothing you have to say. Quit saying my name. I don't want to play radio games with you. Nothing. I'm not interested in exchanging witty banner. Nothing.
That's the nature of the chop shop.
I don't find you interesting. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. You rubbed me the wrong way. I shouldn't be saying that about a gay man. Pardon the pun. But yeah, you should have, it ain't, you tried to brush up on me. It ain't, you finding out it ain't Wazy. Just stop. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's old school Monday, so I'm going to be out.
Appreciate you. Oh, he ends with the old school ending. Old school Mondays? Okay. I'm not sure. How can we flip that, family? Crystal writes, if he had 3 sons in jail, folks will have a thing to say. Keep balling. Keep balling. Jennifer writes, yes, they are fire. My boys on their way. Okay, I see you, Jennifer. I love the way your mind works. I'll be out with my boy. He ain't there yet. He can't even run up and down the court dribbling the ball. We still on the basics. But in a year, he going to be crossing cats over, going to the rack with both hands. Watch what I tell you. Watch if he wants it. Because I want my kids to do whatever they spark is. Now, your dad was in the b-ball. I had my times. I had my moments. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of cats better than me. Shit, the whole gym, but I had my moments. Anthony writes, voter rights, judicial rights, social programs for those in need, and so on and so forth. That's what we have to lose. Right. Danita writes, I can't believe I missed Drop's call. I put my earpiece back in right as he was hanging up. He running from you. Charles writes, listen to Black and Gilligan is his sass is his and sass at the same damn time. Like he really cares about foreign policy. I mean, we should have an eye on foreign policy, but he only cares about the foreign policy that makes Joe Biden look bad. He wasn't concerned about foreign policy when Trump was in offices. He wasn't thinking, he had nothing to say. But now all of a sudden it's a big deal. Black Russia writes, good morning, LiAngelo in the D League right now, right? But LeVar Ball did a good job nonetheless. No, I thought D'Angelo got a shot at the Charlotte Hornets, I thought. Oh, hold on, let me look this up. But I'll take D League. I thought he was getting a shot with or LiAngelo. I thought he was getting shot with Charlotte. Hold on, let me double check here. Okay. He's likely to sign an Exhibit 10 contract. So that's sort of like a small contract with the Charlotte Hornets after averaging 9 points, 2 rebounds. Like, your big brother is the man on the team, rookie of the year. So they're going to switch. They're going to try to make it a double package, get middle brother too. I love it, man. Either way, how many people can say they got 3 sons and all 3 sons is in the NBA, even if one is in the D League or on a sort of a 10-day contract, an Exhibit A contract, and one of your boys was a lottery pick. The other one was rookie of the year. That's big time right there, man. That's like the basketball equivalent, at least at the beginning, to what Serena and Venus' father did. That's huge, man. Everybody out here hating on that brother. TC writes, good morning to you. Greg writes, as a society, we may and should work on reducing black on black crime, white on white crime in general, and reform policing, work to eliminate racial biases and profiling, etc. But you know what? If we gonna tackle any problem, the way you label it will have a lot to do with the way you approach it. I think. Like Donnie says, she thinks we should call it neighborhood crime, since you're more likely to be killed by somebody in your own vicinity, which makes a lot of sense. And to me, I think that if we called it neighborhood crime, we're going to have a different approach than if we call it black on black crime. That's just me. That's just me. Brian Taylor, who knows a lot about this, just posted truth about BLM. Let me see. Check that out. He put a link on there too. Check that out. Kendall Wright scored a touchdown. Maurice Wright, Stefan Urkel, you are crazy for that one. Kendall Wright, he did something. I'm talking about, man, y'all ain't see Andy Dalton? That's when he was in Cincinnati. He got a whole new vibe going on now. Got the full beard game. Looked like he dropped about 10, 15. Got this whole Salt Bay thing going on with the hair. I'll be on Instagram, man. Them sisters, man, they get with a white dude. Psh, they sprinkle that sister juice on him. Presto bango, he comes out looking like the lead singer of Color Me Bad or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who is this? Ooh, I'm gonna take me. Remember that song? The lead singer, he was dope back in the day. He was getting all the ladies. You know he was. Stop it. You know, no more Andy Dalton. Now he's Andrew Dalton. Now tell me Andrew Dalton don't sound better than Andy Dalton. Hey, my name is Andy. You can't even say my name is Andy without it going up. But Andrew Dalton. Ladies, just off the rip, two different names, same person. One is Andy Dalton, the other is Andrew Dalton. Who you going out with? Andrew Dalton. I wish I had an image, but I don't. I'm like, what the hell? He didn't went up to Chicago, divorced his wife, got him a new sister when he's Chicago-based sisters. She did all. Come here. Did all this stuff with his hair. Presto bango. He's Andrew Dalton. He still got hurt though in the Bengals. I turned on the game after 3 years, man. This is such a microcosm of the life of a Bengal, a Cincinnati native, right? Because I'm not a Bengal fan. I'm a Cincinnati native. I rep for any Cincinnati team, but I got off the bandwagon emotionally a long time ago, and it'll take a whole lot for me to come back. But I turned on the game. 1, 2, 3, 3 successive drives, interceptions. One of them get returned for a damn touchdown. I'm like, what in the hell? What in the hell? But enough of me, more of you. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. It's Kev on the cell.
Good morning. Good morning, Kev.
First off, man, so it's your fault. So you saying it's your fault. The team, well, actually, they wasn't doing nothing to that point. So really, I can't even blame you. It was still 3-20 or something like that at that point. So, yeah. The thing I really called about is this black on black crime. So I was on another Facebook page. Somebody posted that nonsense about black on black crime. The whole thing with me in that term is that makes it really convenient for you to put that over in the, that's just another black issue column, right? Yeah. So if we put it in the column of just, and we'll just say American, right? Just an American, right? Then we would say, oh, well, what is happening that's causing these people to do what they're doing, right? And then there would be the whole, it's drugs. This opioid epidemic must be affecting the black community as well as the same way it's affecting every other community, which is driving up crime. Or perhaps it's cocaine and crack that are driving up these issues and causing these folks to prostitute themselves in order to have funds, in order to get drugs. We don't want it to impact their ability to get jobs, though. We will make sure that it will not impact their ability to get jobs, because we're going to call it a medical or mental issue so that we can excuse their behavior. That ain't never happening for us, though, right?
And so my main thing now is whenever anybody says that, it's kind of like what you were talking about with this slave dress and everything else, man. I'm like, okay, so if you pivoted over to this whole, you know, a black issue thing, I immediately say, now you're racist. You weren't racist before, but as soon as you start doing that, now you are racist because you're trying to tell me that the same issues that plague your community plague mine differently only because of the color of my skin. That's the only reason why. Otherwise, what did you said it a couple weeks ago? Them folks up there in northern Ohio that like went Gambino on a whole family. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even report that. Like these people are vicious murderers. They kind of whitewashed even that. I'm like, man, look, just allow me to. Can we just live, man? And then the slave dress. What's with all these dudes wanting to wear dresses?
I'm not sure that's
a thing, man.
That's not a real dress, though, Kev. That's pants. He got on pants. Is that
the pants look like a dress?
Yeah, I know that in that first image it kind of looked like that, but I got an image up right now. He definitely got on pants, and that's supposed to be a representation of the bag that slaves would put cotton in.
Man, look, okay, symbolism aside, right? First off, it still look like a dress. Now I'm trying to figure out why all these dudes trying to wear dresses. I don't know why that's a thing all of a sudden. But okay, let's say for the sake of argument that he's wearing sackcloth, which I don't know that I've ever seen anywhere a picture of people in sackcloth that look anything like that, right? I don't think I have seen that ever. But let's say that's an homage, right, to people wearing sackcloth. What is a better question? Was there messaging behind it?
Yeah.
Did he say like, okay, so I'm missing that part. What's the messaging?
Hold on, I'm gonna put.
Why did he
pull it up again? So he's trying. This is what I'm gleaming from it. So and again, if you go to his Instagram account, he posted something. This is what he posted on his Instagram account, and I'm talking about the brother Jermy Pope, who, as I understand, is an actor and a stage performer. So he posted this: "They planted seeds of beauty, tended to fields with unspeakable strength, and have harvested a kind of excellence that would outlive them for centuries, so that we could one day stand up, stretch toward the sun, and tell their story." So that's what he posted. And so,
hey, that's beautiful, bro. That has nothing to do with wearing that sackcloth, but his words were really eloquent. Love it. Just say that, man. Don't wear the dress sackcloth thingy, whatever it is, and just say that. I appreciate what he said, and I agree. They did all of that. Our ancestors are amazing, man. To be honest, we shouldn't even be. I sat with a historical guy, right? A history guy. And he said, he's a linguist. And he said, and this is amazing to me, he said, nobody ever taught slaves to speak the English language. They figured it out. The slave master had a mission to make sure that they weren't able to communicate, because if they could talk, then they could revolt. But they figured it out. And this is what the linguist said. If anybody says to you that he be, she be, it be is not correct, he said that is absolutely correct English. The verb to be, when you break it down, would be he be, she be, it be. There are nuances that make he is and all of that, you know what I'm saying, parts of the word, to the way you actually break down to be. But if you were a person that was never told that, you absolutely would conjugate the verbs exactly how the slaves did it. So we figured out how to make slop in the food. We figured out how to live past those lashes. We figured out how to do all of these great things, only for us now to be in situations where I'm gonna bring it all around, man, to every day, right? Only to be in situations where they provide us vaccinations that will keep us from dying, and we don't want to take them. They're providing there's an opportunity to get an education, but we don't want to go get that. We want to do anything but get that. We want to go out here and kill each other, which we are doing. It's not no black on black crime. It's just crime. But it is us doing it, and we are doing it to ourselves, right? That don't make sense, man. So F the dress. You feel me? Or sackcloth thing, whatever. But let's take the message out of that they really did give us these opportunities to do some great things. And a lot of those things we ain't doing for really dumbass reasons. You know, I don't often cuss, man, but half of this stuff is just stupid. I'm watching people die that don't have to die. I'm watching people won't use their right to vote, even though they got a right to vote. I'm watching, all of it is stupid, man. Let's go vote. Get vaccinated so you can live and have a good life. And stop wearing dresses. The hell? Men need to be men, man. And I ain't got nothing against the whole, if you are, the alphabet thing, cool, that's all right, man. That's your business. I'm really not even talking to you. That's a whole separate subject. But if you're a quote unquote man and now you want to dress like her, that don't make sense to me. Call yourself one of the alphabet people and then keep it cracking. But as a man, I'm going to vote. I'm going to take care of my people. And that's it, man. I don't talk too much. I know I'm pissed several people off in every part of the chop shop. But that's how y'all live. Take 3 people with you to the polls. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you sign up yourself. And don't just sign up. Make sure that you go. And I'm not being no new nothing. I'm an old soul. I'm a black man in America. You hear me? It's all you got to know, man. And anybody that says anything else about anything else, you know, you gonna get radio beat up. That's all. That's all I got, bro.
All right, brother. Thanks for the call. Take it easy. You said radio beat up, huh? Like Fame radio jumped. We gonna radio jump you. That's funny. That's hilarious. So I could screenshot to you. I went back to this brother, man. Vice magazine or Vice TV. I'm not sure what they call it. Vice, VICE. You know, they got a really big media operation. They actually talk with the brother, man, behind Flemons. That's the designer that made the slave in cotton picking inspired design. It's a brother that made this. So I went back to his website. Y'all want to see? You got some dope designs on here. You know what I'm saying? They're not paying me to do so, but I'll do it for the culture. You might want to check out some of this stuff, and then you can see what kind of artist he is. See, look, this ain't bad. This ain't bad right here. That's not bad at all, is it? I don't think so. Yeah, you can get your Flemons on and look at some of the designs they got here. Closing clouds with pink skies, we're laying an era to rest and sowing seeds for our next evolution. Flemons remains grounded in reality. Change is constant, and the clothes are adapting with us. Sleek brown ribbed jerseys and fleece make up this collection, giving life to lightweight clothes made for moving forward in stillness, while whimsical pink skies remind us of our most natural states, joy and respite. So somebody is a poet. Somebody is a poet. But this is some of his designs right here. It's not too unreasonably priced, you know. And again, like I said, it's non-binary, non-gender. So, you know, you can rock it. Rock this right here. Little pink clouds. Where you at, Cameron? No, you love the pink. There it is, sis. You know you like that right there, the asymmetrical dress. So, I don't know. It looks like he's a dope artist, man, to me. Wish the brother the best, man. Wish the brother the best and all that stuff he's doing. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I will be back tomorrow morning for more superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. We'll chop it up on everything that's going on. If you like this stream that I'm doing and you want to learn more about this program, or maybe you want to do a live stream, I'm using something called Restream. Check it out for yourself. If you hit me with direct message, if you're interested in like using this program for your own live streams, I'll send you a link so you can get $10 off when you decide to do your first live stream. Save you a little bit of cash. I get a little something too. It's a win-win. All right. So hit me with direct message and I'll send you the link. Anybody want to connect with me directly? I'm very accessible. Just hit me with a Facebook direct message or go to my website. My contact information is there, nathanivy.com. Have an excellent rest of your Monday, family, as we get things popping. I know it's going to be a momentous week for you. You're going to win this week. Don't forget, check out the Echo Chamber with Brother Christian Boykin later on this evening at 8 p.m., the 8 p.m. hour. He always has some provocative conversation for you to kick your day off with right here on our Facebook page with CDM. A shout out to all my supporters and my patrons. I appreciate you for your support. It means everything. Have an excellent rest of your Monday. Remember our motto. Let's say it together. Y'all ready? Winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm out.